Hello and welcome to another episode of the Neverstraightanswer podcast, the podcast that aims to cover a wide range of topics from conspiracy theories to popular culture and news. I'm your host Gaz, and joined in the studio, as always, you know him, he's the one and only, he's the Knights Templar Taylor.
Oh, yeah, hello. Thank you very much.
I feel like I'm on another planet today. Welcome.
Yeah.
To another astonishing edition of the Neverstraightanswer podcast.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us, new listeners.
And those offenders.
And repeat offenders across the big old blue marble we call home.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
have we got a smoking episode for you today as well?
We have.
Smoking hot, man. It's burning. What's going on? He keeps pausing for dramatic effect, which is quite cool, actually. Hello?
Yeah.
Well, what have you been up to this week? In fact, we've got a really good episode tonight. We were joined by Amish Phil.
Yeah.
From the Amish Inquisition. Later on, he's coming in to talk about secret organisations.
Oh, yeah, and there's a lot of them around.
Yeah, from the Knights Templar, Skull and Bones, to the Illuminati.
Yeah, he knew quite a lot about the Knights Templar, didn't he?
Oh, he's boned up on his stuff, mate.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's a good lad, Phil. And, we'll be... Phil's podcast, if you want to check it out, it's called the Amish Inquisition. They do conspiracy theories as well.
Yeah,
and all types of stuff. It's really, really interesting.
Yeah. So he's got a guest on.
Plus... much more. So, but Phil will be in the studio a little bit later on, so make sure you stick around for that. But before we crack on, what have you been up to this week?
Me? You know what? I learned something this week.
I learned something today. Go on.
About...
Sound like an after-school special. And you know what I learned today? You know what I learned today?
I was just surprised, and it sort of can actually connect to what we talk about sometimes.
What?
About like spirits, ghosts, seeing UFOs and, stuff in the woods and that.
Well, can you believe it? It's the 1st of October. Ba-bumts.
I know.
Yeah. I know. Everybody said that on the news the other day. Did you see it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Everyone was saying it, and then somebody made a video. But come on. So what have you been doing? Learning stuff?
Yeah, about granite.
Granite?
Stone, yeah.
Yeah, go for it. What's so good about granite?
Well, it's not the goodness. It's that it actually releases a poison.
Right.
Now, enough of it in one area could actually make you believe, put you in
UFOs.
a transit state.
Bigfoot.
Yeah. It puts you into a...
Well, what about everyone with granite worktops in the kitchens? Is this a lot of granite? Is that considered
a lot
of granite? If you spend a lot of time in the kitchen, are you going to be
it'd be a build-up, won't it, really?
And start feeling like you're going to get abducted?
Well, yeah, it'd be the trip out, basically. There's been a number of incidents when people have tripped out just being in a little area, like Dartmoor.
There'll be teenagers going out now licking granite.
Yeah, I know. They'll be sniffing it as well.
Don't be doing that, guys. No. It's not exactly best thing to be doing at this time.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, people will be locking themselves in a room.
We don't endorse that. So what you're saying, that if you're in a high concentration of granite, that it can get you high? That
it can make you actually
euphoric.
See things. Yeah, it can make you see things.
Can I just ask a question? What's Stonehenge made out of?
I don't think it's granite. I think
parts
of it
I'm just thinking, is it like,
I think the two main stones are
resonances of rocks?
Because
it's quite interesting.
It was designed with just two main stones, and them other stones were added later on.
Right. Okay. No, I'm not. Yeah, I know, but I'm talking about.
I think it might.
No, the rock's actually like from Wales. It's mined thousands of miles away.
Yeah, but before that, there was just two there.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what was there at first, but what I'm saying is, if a particular rock has certain properties and people knew that, then would that be an effect of why it was such a spiritual place? It was just a thought. Never mind, cracking on.
Yeah, no, it'd be like a massive area that's like right underneath us, like say Manchester's,
and that's why it was
granite.
Such a groovy place.
There'll be pockets where the gases will be that strong that you will be imagining things.
All right.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Oh, it was interesting.
I mean, I'm not in. I mean, I like a bit of geology sometimes, but I love all the gold mining stuff. But yeah, you'll have to show me some an article on that or something. I'd like to see a bit more on it.
Yeah.
Anything else? Been up too much?
Nah, just researching and.
Yeah, I've had
basically.
a pretty kind of chilled week with a lot of box sets, I'll be honest. Yeah, got a lot of kind of entertainment. And we've not done entertainment news for ages.
We haven't, no.
I'll do a bit. Obviously.
Yeah.
Quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rick Moranis, we talked about him last week.
Yes, we did.
And the punch. He got punched, man.
Yeah.
I know we kind of were like, we'd heard about it quite late, but I was like, oh man, I've got to kind of like look into this and find out what actually happened.
Yeah.
And he was just assaulted for no apparent reason on the streets.
Yeah.
Now, you know, it to me, it kind of looks like a bit of a kind of a fucking racial thing. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, he could have had any reason, but to punch somebody that unprovoked.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It
I don't even think
crazy.
they knew who they punched.
No, I don't think they did.
Yeah.
They just seen an old man an older gentleman, and thought, I can take you.
I'm going to knock you out.
Going to knock you out.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why. I mean, it's like, I hope they get the guy because obviously Rick Moranis is a fucking national, global treasure.
Yeah.
I mean, not a lot of us grew up on his work, and I mean, he's been away
Yes.
for longer than a lot of younguns have been alive. Do you know what I mean? So you got to think of it like, he's finally started to come back to entertainment, and all this has happened. But obviously, I wish Rick Moranis a speedy recovery and I hope it doesn't dissuade him from kind of cracking on.
Yeah.
Because I think there's going to be a lot of people who obviously will be looking forward to his triumphant
I can't
return.
wait to see his
I honestly
antics.
really can't wait to see what comes next for Rick.
He should do. I reckon there'll be some good films out of him.
Going obviously forward, I mean, you can question me on that a bit more if anyone's got any questions or anyone wants to say anything, or on the
got an opinion on it.
Got an opinion on it, come and talk to us because I'd be really interested. Obviously, The Boys season finale this week was bloody good.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. No, I'm going to watch it later on this morning.
The boys. What?
I'm going to watch it later on this morning.
I keep waking up on a Friday going, it's Friday.
The Boys. Forgot about it, man.
What?
I just totally forgot about it, man.
I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed this season. It's been too fast, though, even though it kind of... I mean, I know I was at the beginning saying, I really wanted it all in one chunk.
Yeah.
I kind of still wish I'd got it all in one chunk, but even though it's been stretched out, it seems to have come and gone quite fast.
Yeah, but you could have wait for it all to be done whilst looking at something else and taking that big chunk.
To be honest, there are shows that I do wait for, and I'll kind of think, I'll give that a go at some point. And one particular show, I did start this week, was The Good Place, which was mentioned to you before, but I mean, The Boys was just as brutal as they expected it to be.
Yeah.
There was some absolutely superb scenes in it, and I don't want to spoil it for you, so I will save my fucking geeking out for a later date. But
did you watch that Code 404?
I didn't get a chance, no, actually.
Right, if you get a chance, have a little look at it. It was all right. It weren't too bad. It was...
I have heard somebody else mention it, to be honest, and I was like, I'll give it a go, see what it's about.
It was pretty funny.
Oh, right, okay. I mean, it's like Error Code 404, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it sort of a geek, sort of IT sort of based thing? Or?
It's like the best police officer gets killed, and then he's got computer chips in him. But there's some good one line.
So it's RoboCop.
Basically, there's actually two coppers in there who rip the piss out of him all the time with do you need a recharge? Stuff like that. It's like,
it seems a bit of a RoboCop.
But no one wanted to say RoboCop until the end.
You wanted to say RoboCop. Well, Good Place was good. I really enjoyed it. 4 seasons, and like I say, it was just one of those where I thought, I'll just binge watch this. And do you know what? It's really kind of asks you a lot of questions, doesn't it? It's like morals and, how you act in life and how that affects everybody else and all the rest of it. It's good. I do recommend it. Yeah. But I will say, if anyone's watched it, and I don't feel like too much of a spoiler here, but if you've seen it all the way to the end, I do believe the message towards the end is saying it's all right if you want to give up,
Yeah, you were saying this before.
It seems a bit defeatist.
Right, so basically, you're saying, commit suicide anyway, anytime you want. If you don't feel, if you're depressed,
it's like there's always a way out.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
And we don't endorse that.
No, because
there is always an option.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
there's always an option.
Don't fucking do that.
And it seems better. It's better after the fact as well.
Yeah, but I mean, I think no, obviously. it was just like we were having a discussion earlier about kind of obviously it's like in heaven or hell situation.
Yeah.
There'll come a point where it just all become tedious.
Yeah, exactly.
Too much of anything's like.
But there's too many questions around it, isn't there? You know what I mean? We were discussing it before, but we're starting to get a bit more technical in it. Like, there's an heaven above heaven, and like, if you did something there and
super
it was
heaven,
boring, or if you were in hell and you were being tortured, you were tortured for 100 days, but it's after 100 days you're not going to care. Really, it's like
you start getting Stockholm syndrome and start feeling like, hey, lover,
you're giving me pain again. All right then. Well, I'm used to it now, so keep giving it, mate.
Fair enough.
You know what I mean?
In Marvel news, Spider-Man 3 updates.
Yes.
So Sam Raimi's going to be doing the multitude of what is it called? The multitude of fucking Marvel fucking multiverse of madness.
Yeah.
I just keep forgetting what it's called. Too many
Keep going into these bloody multiverses.
So yeah,
opening up a load.
But because Sam Raimi has been kind of obviously he was responsible for the original Spider-Man Tobey Maguire trilogy.
Yeah.
And obviously since Jonah Jameson turned up at the end of Far From Home. Like, the guy from the Daily Bugle and all the rest of it. And it was the same actor. So,
that's right.
Jamie Foxx has now been signed up for Spider-Man 3 to reprise his role as Electro, right?
Yeah,
which is bizarre because he's from the Andrew Garfield franchise, right? Which does suggest quite heavily they're going to be looking at a live-action Spider-Verse.
Yeah, because he died, didn't he?
Who did?
Electron.
Well, yeah, but I mean, did he? Because he's in a totally different universe. And if you want to argue, the 616 or whatever universe that they're currently in, or what the Marvel Cinematic Universe lives in, there's so many. You could argue that each movie incarnation of Spider-Man we've seen has been another multiverse incarnation, and there's nothing to stop them colliding because there's that storyline, the Into the Spider-Verse storyline, in the comics. So and they've done it now on the
doing it in the films
in the film
now, series,
but in the animated film. But is it going to be too soon? I wonder.
I think so, because I think they're pushing it a bit too much, in my opinion. That there's a multiverse we actually...
It's a hot topic, isn't it? It's a hot take.
But it's a good idea as well, because it changes...
It also kind of brings...
TV and movies work.
Well, no, I think what happens in TV and movies, and especially in story writing, is that they've got to kind of ground it in some sort of reality. Yeah. And a lot of the times, like the Fantastic...
Been repeats lately.
Well, the Fantastic is really hard to pull off because you can't ground it. Yeah. So if you're able to ground it in an explanation where it's in a different timeline or a different multiverse, or
that's
and
what
you
I
can
mean,
explain a lot of the groundwork out by saying it's much the same, but there's these differences because. Do you know what I mean?
People are going to start getting confused. If we go watch a Spider-Man film, it's like, hold on.
I think people
was this in our universe or in like some fucking?
They'll just stop
else?
Doing superhero movies and just do Spider-Man movies.
Well,
different.
It will come to an end
universes.
At one point or another. You know what I mean? It's
anyway.
A lot of superhero stuff at the moment. It'd be fucking westerns.
Well, there's
in
not
about
at the
10
moment.
Years. Well,
love a good western.
Yeah, but like it will start dying off at one point. You know what I mean? Because we're at the big points, I think.
Oh yeah. They're always
so
kind of like
have
waves.
A little slide down and something else.
There's always waves of different genres of movies, isn't there? And I think we're heavily in a superhero kick at the minute.
Yeah, definitely, without doubt.
There'll become a day when, like you say, they'll be like, oh yeah, do you know what? I'm just aching for a western.
Yeah.
Or I'm aching for a romantic comedy.
Yeah. Something else will pop up. But
it's like, this is the thing, you see, because Marvel movies and superhero movies generally cater for that as well. So it's like there are double in. Well, I say double on genre.
They're trying to get into all them kind of...
I've just coined a new phrase. Double on genre movies.
Double on genre?
Yeah, double on genre movies. So, like, basically, it'll be like Ant-Man is a heist movie. Also, it's a superhero movie. Thor Ragnarok is a buddy movie. Yeah. It's also a superhero movie. They do sort of have even Captain America, you could argue, is an espionage movie. Like Civil
film.
War or a war film.
Yeah.
But it's also a superhero movie.
Yeah.
So they do have, like you said, double on genres.
Yeah, they do. But I
double on genre.
I think they're just gonna. I think it's gonna start peaking off now. To be honest, myself.
What?
And look how DC have been. DC tried to do the Marvel, and look how badly they done with that.
See where they come next, because I did actually quite like Shazam, and I did like Aquaman. So it's always the ones you don't expect.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
Anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
Talked a bit too much about Spider-Man. It's our new segment. Yeah. I'm not sure about the buttons again. Where we look for a job for you.
We do.
I'll try and find the best job in our new segment.
So why don't you get a job?
Yeah, got it right this week for once. Fucking hell, it makes change.
Yeah.
So, obviously, we want you to have the best opportunities.
We do.
Going forward, in terms of finding the best career.
Yeah.
So we've looked around for you and found some pretty weird job roles, to be honest. Do you know... have you ever wondered? You were talking about pet food earlier. Yeah,
yes.
Not on the show, but earlier on.
Yeah.
And we were saying about about what you give them and if that's good or if it's good for the environment or what. Yeah.
Yeah, because they're starting to complain about it.
And obviously, but for taste, right?
Yeah.
If you, how do you know that they're giving your dog beef? When does it taste like beef? They say it's the best, as good as it looks and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I look at it and go, it looks better than what I'm having.
You
know what I mean?
Bastard.
Well, no, some of these, high quality,
do you know what?
Cat foods or whatever.
They actually say that they get the meal that the dog will get in the dog meat is probably better than what we fucking get.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Well, you can be a dog food tester. Well, your job would be to test new dog food products, including bones, tinned meats and biscuits. You do test it for flavour, texture and composition, and basically compare to rival dog food brands to human food.
Dogs don't care, they yap it down. They don't care, they don't want to taste it, they want to fucking eat it.
Well, exactly. Yeah. Well, talking about other food,
yeah.
You could be a scuba diving pizza delivery man.
Oh, don't. Scuba diving.
Yeah.
Pizza delivery man. Who's he delivering it to?
People on boats.
Oh my days! Why don't you just get on a bike?
What? Basically, the what's it? They supply them people with what's it on cruise? I suppose on what's it as well?
What, submarines?
Yeah, submarines.
Actually, there's a few hotels and that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, hotels in Florida. That are on the water, and they basically it's bizarre, but they take their order
everyone
and
wants
then
a pizza.
Scuba dive the pizza deliverer down to them. They carry them in a tough case, I suppose, to lightweight case.
I hope.
Yeah, it's proper service though.
Hey, it's good.
I found one more. You've not found one this week, have you?
No,
But soon he's got a riddle for me. So get prepared, people.
Yes.
You could be an ostrich babysitter. And I'm hearing loads of ladies going, oh. I'd be an ostrich babysitter because they are cute as fuck. This job is easier than babysitting real babies.
Have you seen them? The vicious little bastards.
Yeah, I know. That's why they need babysitters, you see, because all you need to do is keeping the other little shits from pecking their eyes out. That's all you need to do.
Is that it?
Yeah. Just stop them from fucking pecking
each other. That's easy. Eye patches.
Pecking the shit out of each other. That's it. Just generally pecking the shit out of each other. When I say pecking their eyes out, I just mean generally hurting.
There you go.
You just got to break it up. You're like a barman. You're a bouncer more than anything.
What?
So break it up, lads.
No, mate.
Break it up.
Hell
Come on.
No. Get a kick from one of them. Fuck me, you're gonna be
babies. The babies.
Yeah. What kind of babies? Are we talking 3 foot fucking fat, or are we talking a
little
16
chickens,
feet?
Little chicks.
Oh, man. Well, that's not too bad.
Get a grip.
Yeah, that's not bad. Well,
pays good.
Is it really?
Oh, well, yeah, it's better than normal babysitting.
Wow, yeah.
Well, if you want to get involved with our segment, just if you hear of any mental jobs that you've seen, send them our way. We might feature them on the show.
Yes.
Also, we've got another segment called What's Fucked Up Where You're From, which will be returning next week because we've had some people send some in.
We are.
If you've got a crazy thing that's gone on around your area, maybe a spooky haunted house, maybe. Or there's a leprechaun at the bottom of your garden. I'm a mermaid in your pond.
Or toilet.
I don't know. You might have an urban legend going on round your way, and you think, oh, it's best tell the lads, man. And we'll investigate. We'll investigate. There's other amazing things going on in your area. And yeah, could be featured. So give us an email at neverstraightanswer@gmail.com and tell us your freaky happenings.
Ooh, freaky.
There you go. So anyway, yeah. So What's Fucked Up Where You're From will be back next week. But first, we have got a riddle, I assume. And what's the score at the moment? It's 1-0 still.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So over 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm winning with 1-0. Yeah. Taylor's got another riddle for me this week.
Yes.
So
I have.
Without further ado, I'm ready.
Oh, you know.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Sure you don't want to phone a friend?
No.
That's the audience?
No. 50-50.
You going to help him? No.
What? Just give us a riddle, man. We've only got a minute on the sound effect.
All right then. Here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
Yeah. What has a head and a tail, is brown, and has no legs?
2p.
Yeah.
2-0.
Well, actually, it was the penny.
2-0. 2-0.
I thought you might get that because I asked you other questions later on with...
Seriously.
Yeah.
2-0. 2-0. And I got it. I've still got 17 seconds on the clock.
All right, then.
Is this a bonus round?
The more you take, the more you leave behind. What am I?
The more you take...
the more you leave behind.
Time.
No.
Oh, well, that bonus, so it doesn't count.
Okay.
Okay, what was it?
Footstep.
Yeah, I have actually heard that one before.
Yeah.
I just couldn't be bothered thinking about it, to be honest.
Yeah, don't blame me.
I put everything I had into that last one.
I noticed. I noticed. You've got a headache now, haven't you?
No, I'm all right.
Yeah, it's pulsing.
Well, if you've not got it already, get over to Amazon Prime. Yeah, you don't have to get Prime if you don't want it. But we're offering you a 30-day free trial.
We are.
Over on Amazon Prime Video.
Get over
which
there.
means you can watch The Boys and other things like that.
Yeah.
For only $9.99 a month if you decide to keep it. But we're offering you a free 30-day trial there anyway. Link in the description. Obviously, you can watch what you want and then cancel it whenever you like.
Yeah.
There's plenty of videos and movies and all sorts there as well. We're also giving you a 30-day free subscription to Amazon Music.
Yeah.
Because they've got podcasts now as well, so you can... perfect excuse to go and subscribe to us.
Yeah.
Like I say, link in the description. Yay! So, yeah. So, we're joined in the studio with Phil from the Amish Inquisition. Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me, boys. Good to be here.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime. I mean, I love the show, and I think, like, obviously, we've got a lot in common in terms of what our topics and subject matter is on the show. And we thought we'd have you in because, obviously, no one expects the Amish Inquisition. And I'm pretty sure you're fucking sick of hearing that, aren't you?
No, it makes me. It brings a tear to my Jap's eye every time.
Yeah, so we were talking earlier about kind of where your name comes from, and like the Amish Inquisition. Obviously, the it's a bit of a pun on the Spanish Inquisition, but you were saying about how it's more to do with kind of like the irony of the technology, is it, or?
Yeah, I think having an Amish podcast is a bit of a trick, isn't it?
It's a great line. It is really a great line, I must admit.
Yeah, it is actually, isn't it?
Bit of irony there.
Yeah.
I sometimes sort of envy him a bit that they've let go of all
Simple
this
life,
technology.
I gotta agree. Totally agree on you on that one.
Yeah, I think
leading a more simpler life.
Yeah. Exactly. I think obviously when you're thinking about the Amish, it's like they do say, the shun technology and all the rest of it, but it's like I've always thought that there was the time in history when like the horse and cart and the scythe were pinnacles of technology, and it was like, right, we draw the line here, boys.
Yeah.
No anything. Don't get that iPod out. You know, we don't want any of that.
Yeah, wheels
it's
and
like
fires,
draw the line
form.
at this form of technology, and then it's like we don't progress any further. But
Yeah.
it's good that, like you say, I kind of envy him in that simple life sort of sense. But
it would be interesting to know. I don't know if anyone's like done any scientific research on this, but to take like a large Amish population and try and
they
measure
actually
their physical health and mental health,
no,
the longevity, the average lifespan.
yeah, and see what kind of the benefits versus about like way of life. It definitely would be worth looking into.
I've seen a program where they actually did that. Except for they brought an Amish person into normal life, and they had to use the technology in that, and then they brought someone from normal life into
their community,
and to see how the reaction would be.
And what was the result?
Well, I think more Amish would want to.
I bet she didn't come back to the community, did she? She was like fucking a stripper by the end of the week or something.
Yeah,
you know.
They loved it.
Well, like all that aside, we didn't get you here to talk about the Amish community. We're here tonight to talk about secret organisations.
Yeah, do you reckon they are?
Well,
it could be.
They're impossibly powerful, incredibly wealthy, untouchable by the law, and they're known by a few names of the New World Order, the Illuminati, just to name a few. Secret organisations, we've covered a couple. Like Skull and Bones, as a secret organisation that, like, you know, it's a smaller sort of introductory secret organisation, really, isn't it? It's one of those like fucking my first, conspiracy organisation.
Yeah, like being my first girl. This is what I did.
Well, I think aren't they linked to the Rhodes Round Tables?
Yes,
I
think so. Yeah.
Well, apparently everything is joined to the round table. Every single part of it.
Yeah. We had
the head.
So what's the round table then for anyone who wouldn't know what that is?
Well, apparently Cecil Rhodes set up these groups. He gets, the Rhodesia, the country Rhodesia, it was named after him, Rhodes. Yeah. Cecil Rhodes. He was a big dick in the
in the dirt
for the British. And he seems to have set up these little groups that are sort of separate from each other, but the common denominator is they were set up by him. These Rhodes Round Table, what do you call them? Organisations, I guess you'd call them.
It's almost kind of like, we'll go into it, but like the Bilderberg group, it's almost like having a subsidiary sort of. We'll all meet. We've got this sort of like, we'll have a weekend retreat. We'll all kind of turn up world leaders and dignitaries and whatnot. But then they
sacrifice someone in front of a giant owl statue.
Yeah. Well, it was actually the owl symbol. Definitely. I mean, it's significant because obviously, if you look into the Illuminati, the Bilderberg group. How that ties in, why people I think get so kind of like have a feeling they're so strongly connected is because that owl thing. I mean, we've seen the Alex Jones where he sneaks in and he films them all fucking doing the crazy,
dodgy stuff.
What would you call that? I couldn't even describe what that was. It was a ritual, ritual, if you like. Yeah,
sacrifice.
In front of a big owl.
Yeah.
In fact, I've got a note about that owl actually somewhere.
Moloch.
Yes,
yeah,
Moloch. You know what?
Yeah, that's
I love
exactly
the
it.
Moloch.
So the owl of
evil to the devil.
The owl of manure. Is it
manure?
Manure is Mineura. Is that what's that? What? Go on.
Sorry. So is it MIN?
Yeah, sorry. Mineura. Manure, is it?
Manure.
I'm really terrible at pronunciation, so do forgive me. But it's basically to say that the owl, it's representing wisdom, and it was chosen by the first Illuminati as their sort of symbol. Funny thing I found out about the Illuminati, actually, right? When they founded, the actual I know what you're saying, manure. I hate manure. If you're fucking Back to the Future reference. But fucking, what was it? The first Illuminati, when they were set up, they were actually set up as a thing that was opposed to kind of information being suppressed. So when, by today's standards, it's a bit hypocritical. It flies in the face of the original sort of concept behind its creation. It was supposed to kind of bring information out a bit like Anonymous is today. They were set up to try and, stop information being kind of seized by governments and parliament.
Yeah, but that's what governments were supposed to do for us. But
I know,
they did fill their pockets before.
Well, you might be able to fill us in about this, Phil, because you're big on the Templar, aren't you? Because that's the way I see it. I mean, like, people have these links between like stuff like the Masons and the Templar and obviously secret organizations like that. And people say, obviously, when you get a certain degree of, Masonry, that you can kind of progress further and further. Yeah. So it makes me think that when it was kind of all starting out and you've got these group of people who are like anonymous and they want to stop the current government from suppressing information, that they go out, and it kind of makes me think about the Crusades and how the Knights, the Knights Templar kind of went off across the globe, really, doing bits and pieces, and there's evidence to show that they've been all over the place. And it makes me think that this is what they were doing. They were setting these little established little franchises, if you like.
Oh yeah, they started off after the first crusade when the French, the Crusaders, won. What was the point? The problem that they had is that Jerusalem's pretty much in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And the main port was Jaffa, where all the ships used to land and all the goods. So when the Christians took Jerusalem, they started these pilgrimages, massive pilgrimages, and these pilgrims were being attacked by bandits on the road to Jerusalem from Jaffa, and it was becoming such a problem that's pretty much why they were formed. The Templars is like a security service.
Yeah. Well, they were kind of. I read something about as well. They were used as, like you say, security, because when the first banks were started up, they were like, well, in terms of like transporting cargo and gold, they'd use them as a security service there, if you like, as well. Do you know, like, is that correct, or would you say?
Well, even more so. I mean, the Templars essentially were the first banking corporation.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when they took holy orders, they gave up all their sort of property rights. They were penniless, essentially. And it was like a charity. So people from all over Christendom were donating money to the Templars. But also, more importantly, people were leaving them land in the wills.
Yeah. That's where the important bit.
As they get rolling, they start inheriting all this money, all this land. And what they would do is, if you were a pilgrim, you could deposit your money or property or whatever at a Templar station, and then they would issue an like a check.
Yeah, so you could collect it at another one.
So you would get to the Holy Land, Jerusalem, and then collect your money there. Yeah, so you're not going to lose it on the journey.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense more
much
than
invented international banking and checking.
So do you think that, obviously, I mean, well, there's all these connections between what we consider the Illuminati and the New World Order and obviously the elite, the banking families. They're all kind of connected, and it makes me think that, this is just an ongoing thing from the Templar. I mean, if you start out as a noble cause, but then you find yourself in this position of, wealth and
influence.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, that's when I think the corruption starts, and I think that's why, go based on what I've read there about, them having more sort of socialist ideals to start with, and kind of bringing this information to the people and stopping suppression of it to becoming this sort of power.
To realise they needed it. They needed it to actually do what they wanted to do. But then, obviously, yet again, greed gets in the way, and it's like, I'll take that, I'll take that, I'll take that, I'll hide that, I'll do this, do that. Because they were always on a bloody mission, weren't they, really?
Well, but this is it. I mean, there's so many. I mean, you can find that a lot of. You could argue conspiracy theories are linked. They have strong links to the Templar. I mean, what would you say was the key sort of thing that you would think was the linchpin to say, yeah, this is what grew into what we consider that today, the New World Order?
Yeah, I think there's a couple of sort of routes directions it could take. So when the Templars were hunted down, what was it, Friday the 13th? That's where we get the...
Is that where it comes from?
Yeah, it was Friday 13th of October, 1307.
Right, okay.
It was the day that they were set upon and persecuted, and some of them escaped.
Yeah, there was 4. I believe it was 4. I believe there were 4 left over out of everyone who survived. There was 4, and then they go off on a path to do something.
I think there will have been. There might have been 4 of the senior knights.
Yeah, the originals. Yeah,
got to remember that 90% of the Templars weren't fighting; they were non-combatants.
Yeah.
They were involved in the running the farms that they'd got and the vineyards and the running the banking and all the rest of it. It was only about 10% of them that actually fought in battle. Yeah. So a lot did escape, I believe, to Portugal, because that was a stronghold.
Where were they being held? Because it was it Edinburgh? There was were they being held in France or
all over Europe?
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Who did the second one because he was financially able to.
I only say that because I'm really interested in the Oak Island conspiracy theory, like the fact that these potentially treasure buried on this island in Nova Scotia, right?
You found anything?
And the strong Templar links there, and when they were doing a bit of research, they found this prison in France, and they say that this is where Templar knights were being held, and on the walls there was a lot of carvings. And we were discussing this the other day, weren't we? Because we were saying how a lot of these guys were Masons as career. Do you know, they were skilled workmen. And the idea of this treasure being buried on this island. I mean, the excavation that would have had to be done to do this, and in fact. They say it's actually 2 islands, and they've been joined up at some point.
Yeah,
bridge the gap between 2 islands, and then there's something buried under there as well. So it's like, but it all every time they get a researcher in, they always suggest that it's got Templar connections and that they had this vast wealth, and they were moving it around, like you say, from Jerusalem. Would you say that's true? Would you say that they would? I mean, had this fortune, why were they being kind of, targeted and run down, outlawed, basically?
It was King Philip of Portugal, Philip IV of Portugal. It was him. He was the main guy behind the persecution. He lobbied the Pope Clement, to have these guys charged, and with. Most people think the main reason was that he owed him a fuck ton of money.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Because he was at war with the English, and he was borrowing off the Templars to fund his war against the English, and he was getting that far in debt. He wanted to get rid of him.
Right. So, to take him on a world fucking chase to try and round him up, it seems like quite extreme for something so trivial.
The order was sent out, and then wherever a soldier had met one, then they get taken down straight away.
Yeah, Philip sent out letters to everywhere with instructions
like a
to be
warrant,
opened
really,
on a certain... Sorry?
Like a warrant or like an arrest warrant or
it wasn't an arrest warrant.
What are they called? Like
death warrant.
A bounty on them.
It wasn't a arrest. A West?
Wake
up, Mr. West. It was an arrest warrant that he sent. And the instructions were to open it on this certain day, and that was when they got the message to arrest every Templar they had.
Ah, pre-planned, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But going back to other reasons why they might have been hunted, I love the theory. Have you read The Sign and the Seal by Graham Hancock?
No, I've not. No.
It's all about the Ark of the Covenant.
Oh, right, okay.
And part of his theory is that the Templars did excavations in Jerusalem while they were there. And so the theory is that they maybe found the Ark of the Covenant.
Yeah, but didn't they move it to Ethiopia, to one of the churches?
But then,
and no one's arrived in that church, and no one's ever seen it since.
Well, these guys are over on. We've had researchers coming on that Oak Island thing saying that the Ark's buried there and the menorah and all sorts of other stuff. I mean, you'd love that these treasures were discovered. But
all at once, yeah.
But I mean, it's like the Ark of the by me.
The true cross, the Ark of the Covenant, the menorah.
Yeah, who's king now?
The fucking he's the true. Yeah, what's it called? The goblet. Well, all that. Yeah. You'd be like, I was just walking across my local field with my metal detector.
And
just come across the Ark of the Covenant.
Found them in the bag. I thought I'd take them home and have a little look. And all of a sudden, a sandwich was made for me.
Nah, you don't open the Ark of the Covenant.
But you'd open the bag to see what's in there, and it's like, hold on.
Go on.
Sorry. You can open it as long as you don't open your eyes.
Yeah, just don't look at it.
Yeah, you get someone you don't like or something. Yeah, so open it up with them. Hey, have a look in here and see what you see.
It's just don't look in the red bag.
Are you condoning using the Ark of the Covenant as a military weapon?
Know for a fact that that's what they're thinking.
Yeah, exactly. It will be used for that.
Anything they can. It was like we've been talking about the Philadelphia experiment recently, and it's like straight and then later Montauk project, and it's like both show it's like the Philadelphia experiment was an experiment in cloaking, and there was an accident. And it turned out that they kind of apparently discovered teleportation by mistake. Yeah, right. So first thing the government think is, right, weaponize it, try and work that out. You know, it's like, of course you will. It's like if you discover something by accident, of course you're going to dive on it and go, right, change the direction. We found something better than what we were aiming for. So result.
You wouldn't. The Amish wouldn't.
The Amish definitely wouldn't.
They'd go, I'm sure we can twist their arm.
They'd just look at it, confused.
Hey, play Pokemon.
I actually, I had a thought earlier when we were talking about the Amish. I mean, I worry about them in this current climate in terms of, and all these, I mean, these tribes around the world that we don't interact with. And if this virus is kind of transmitted,
they might be
the Amish community, they're not getting like the PM's, advice, wear a mask and all that.
Well, yeah, because not unless
don't have a radio.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
they won't even know it's happening.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's like, all of a sudden everyone's getting flu.
Hey, they might come up with a cure though. In doing it that way, you know what I mean? Enough of them dying, it's go, oh, well, give them a cabbage.
Yeah, we've found out it's butter.
Yeah.
Hey, you're half joking, but I mean, look at sort of indigenous tribes and what they can work out how to use.
Yeah. Well,
healing,
I've got a friend who's a photographer. He goes out to photograph people in tribes, and he takes a mobile studio. And he basically smashes it. The portraits are just stunning, and they literally, don't use any sort of moisturizers or anything like that. Yeah, they all just live really nice lives and chilled and eat veg and all the rest of it. And it's like they all got amazing complexions, look like supermodels. you know, and it's crazy.
That far. I won't go that
I'll show you the photos. But yeah, going back to topic, I mean, first time I kind of ever heard of, you know, the Illuminati or this threat of a new world order. It was we were talking earlier, I mean, the zeitgeist, was something that kind of came to my mind as something that was kind of a bit of an eye-opener. You were talking earlier about another movie. What was that?
Loose Change.
What's that about? Oh, it's the 9/11 documentary, isn't it? So, yes. I mean...
So like Zeitgeist had a section on...
Yeah.
It like had a section on religion and section on this
money
and that, and a section
and
finance, yeah.
The finance one was a real kind of eye-opener. But then that made me think, well, everything's controlled by a bank, because I always thought, and I had to explain this to a friend a few times, because it was like, oh, well, the government will just print more money. And I said, the government doesn't work like that. They don't print their own money. They go to the Bank of England, same as everyone else, and say, can we have some money? And they go, oh, yeah, well, we can borrow you some at an interest rate slightly lower than the average common person pays, but they still, you know, have the control. So if the Bank of England suddenly turn around and say, like during this, you know, crisis we're having at the moment, the governments around the world are sure are hemorrhaging money, and it's like, where do they turn? They have to go to the Bank of England or their country's, you know, monetary system, and go, we're in the shit. Can we have some? And they go, yeah, of course we will, at this interest rate, And I'm sure they're being nice about it and giving them slightly lower interest rates. It's not pound for pound.
They're controlled by the World Bank.
But that's what I'm saying. Who owns that? And this is the thing. It's like when you start trying to look up the chain of command, it's like...
It disappears.
Wow, yeah, it disappears. It's like you get so far up the chain and it's like, well... Who's actually pulling the strings here? And if they have a vendetta or a personal opinion or, you know, a cause they're really passionate about, does that start to filter in and become my fucking mission in life? Because obviously my work pays their tax, which funds, you know, and keeps going up the chain. It's crazy to think about. I mean, who's in charge, guys?
It's so murky, isn't it? Once you start looking into how it really works at the highest levels. And
well, I was looking at gold today, actually, and it's. I found out there's a group called, I think, the XRP, and basically they control and manipulate gold, silver, and stuff. Now, if money's going to go, people are going to end up going to gold, silver, and Bitcoin. And them kind of trends, but they look like they're being so manipulated as well, because who was it who just left now and left the banks? Basically, a big, massive investor. I think it was Warren Buffett. He's just taken all his money and put it into a gold mine. He took all his investments from these banks and just went, you know what, you can have that. I'm going to the gold mines. So if he's done that, that means he knows something's coming.
Well, true, because you've got to think that it's going to come back down to metals, isn't it?
Yeah,
like precious metals.
Up,
this is what I was saying about, you know, if they were to decide to go to a paperless system, I'm sure another monetary currency would spring up, like a grassroots currency. Like,
really?
Maybe. I mean, everyone's going Bitcoin. Why not invest in a company that's physical currency?
Yeah.
Because, to be honest, I want to be able to pay my dealer without fucking worrying about, doing a card transaction. Or if he's, checking out my credit rating and, you know, we're going to repossess my house if I don't pay.
Yeah, and then when they find out, they turn around and go, right, well, we're stopping you using your credits for the next 2 weeks.
Exactly, yeah. Having that sort of hold over the population where you can kind of have your assets seized in a click of a mouse. It's like, wow.
I think now if money, any time money could be turned away, yeah? So imagine now if it was turned down, that money doesn't actually it's worthless, because if you go to the Bank of England with it and ask what is this promise note for, they'll chuck you out. They won't tell you. So that note
copyrighted
is
that idea, by the way. That's my idea. Don't try and steal it, anyone.
It's absolutely worthless. Realistically, it's only us, the people, that keep it running. But
that's the thing, isn't it? It's
money
like
is no more.
If everyone decided tomorrow that it was useless or worthless, that's it. It's like things are only as valuable as people all agree they are. So it's
confidence.
Sorry.
Confidence.
Yeah.
You have to have confidence in the currency, and the same with the stock market. It runs on confidence.
Yeah.
That's
it.
Yeah.
Well, that's why.
That's how Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin kind of got its kind of. It got a kind of a big boost because it was so kind of highlighted in the media as this new sort of currency, and like there was loads of it was kind of attributed to like the dark web and stuff. So I think it got this sort of stigma attached, or sort of a reputation, and I don't know if that helped it kind of grow, because all of a sudden, like, Bitcoin's this brand, and that people know what Bitcoin is when you to an extent.
Yeah.
Like you can kind of say Bitcoin, and most people will have an idea what it is.
Yeah.
But there's so many cryptocurrencies out there at the minute. But
it's which one to
do you not think that the banking system, this 0% or 1% higher fucking government, are going to have something to say about this? Obviously, they're taking money from them at the end of the day, aren't they?
Well, have you seen what we've just done? We've just milked,
He's rubbing his fingers together like milked. I'm like, you disgust me.
I'm a dirty boy, what can I say?
Go on.
They just milked the figures. So, like our I think it's our interest rate. Our economy went down 23 points, yeah? Well, we've just milked it, I think, to go up an extra 1.5. Now, there is no need for doing that, but why have they done it? Is a big question, but no one seems to know the answer why. And it's gone through Parliament and stuff like that, and it's like, well, why? Why are you flexing them figures when the original figure's 23, and now you want to put it down to 22 or 20? What are you doing? What are you playing? And it just makes me think that all these figures and stuff that's coming about, something's going to.
Listen, all that stuff, but this is it. It's like it's only what they tell you. Well, it's like you can't,
It's
other than that, it's what you believe and being told, exactly.
Or feared.
I mean, talking about being told, I mean, the Illuminati or the Masons or, these organisations, they're known for leaving markers knocking around,
Washington.
Well, the Georgia Guidestone springs to mind. Have you heard about that at all?
Yeah.
I think that's crazy. I mean, that this rock's just appeared, and it's got Mason markings on it, and it basically says, if you don't know about the Georgia Guidestone, it basically suggests that we need a certain amount of people on Earth to make it sustainable.
500 million.
500 million. What else is on there? Loads of kind of like, they're quite harsh, sort of, some of them. It's like you think, well, to keep the world a nice place to live and, keep pollution down and, all the rest of it so it's not overpopulated, all these things. And it's just appeared, this stone, out of nowhere. And nobody knows where it's come from, who's put it there. But
71, I think.
We were talking about markers as well the other day, weren't we? About kind of like, in this vein, because like, whenever there's Denver Airport is another one, where there's Illuminati, like sort of symbolism. And
do you know anything about the Denver Airport?
I'd heard that there was a secret base underneath it.
Yeah,
I don't think it's so secret.
Well, it doesn't seem it is a secret. Yeah, but basically, what they say is that they dug a big hole. And then built 4 complexes in the hole, and then said, "Oh, we fucked up, so just concreted it in." Yeah, but these buildings are still in there. Yeah,
with the machines to start.
It doesn't make sense. Yeah, right. But like, there is not Illuminati, say sort of...
the art on the walls, like...
Yeah, the art on the walls is very symbolic
sickening.
in terms of like what, in the vein of the Georgia Guidestone, it kind of suggests that this is something that might have to happen in order for us to get to a place where it's a peaceful coexistence, and maybe that's the ultimate goal from the one world government. They want to be able to
they want not 89%
population.
Of the population.
to kind of control the population and have it as a sustainable planet where the planet's not fucked up, but they've got enough people to keep it going.
But then it's only going to turn again where the slaves always turn on the master. So at one point or another, and especially nowadays, more people have got more brains than we've had before and use them more. And we can
Thinking
think
about
for
the Denver
ourselves,
airport, that mural on the wall actually isn't. These. I was looking at it originally thinking, oh shit, it kind of looks like a...
It's supposed to mean something else, though, isn't it?
It's almost like so the mural as I see it, it's kind of like this point where these...
German soldier with a sword.
Well, that's what you see, but it's like you see a soldier in a gas mask.
Yeah.
Why is he wearing the gas mask? You assume that it could be because of, some bomb or something. But, why are we all wearing face masks at the moment? Do you know? I don't know. But then, like, it says, like, you have to go through this period of shit, but then at the end, everyone's holding hands, everybody, from all these different fucking races and all the rest of it. And it's like, the idea of the New World Order, kind of falls apart, really, because the way I understood it was you've got kind of three main governments or three main sort of super governments. So you've got like the US, and then you've got Europe, until kind of we started throwing a fucking spanner in the works there, and now everyone wants out, and it's just fell apart.
Well, there is actually a map of like prisonising us. There was a road that was built through Canada, through America, to Mexico, I think it was, and that road was supposed to be used for transporting people around, and they've actually blocked it off. They've got an idea of how sectioning people off. That's why we're like Britain's like the bank of the world, America's like the police of the world, the Japanese are like the technology.
Well, that's
of the
it.
world.
There's the Eastern government as well. So that's kind of three main governments.
Yeah.
If they get together and they've got kind of their main leaders, it's like almost creating a little one world government, isn't it, really? Because you've got, all it is kind of, we've gone from, we were watching, actually, funny enough, talking about, like, the Amish Inquisition earlier, right, Monty Python, right, we were watching some Monty Python clips, and it's like, back in the Middle Ages and the Dark Ages, it's like, well, no one knows who's in charge, information doesn't travel fast, it's like, you just assume that
that's why we can do this today.
It's life's life, and you're getting on with your things, and then like you have a lord, which is your area's representative to the crown, and then so from local establishment to national establishment to world or to countrywide establishment to European and so on. It's like we're not very far off that end goal. It makes me think that that idea of a one world government isn't that far away,
Well, especially with the UN wanting by 2030 every single person to have an ID with all their information on it, and I can see
makes me laugh
this,
though.
That this is a way of doing it because they're asking more people to use the cards.
Well, think about it.
Cards.
Well, you've called me a conspiracy theorist, but like, everyone was like this, ID cards, no way, I'm not getting an ID card. Facebook arrives, everyone's willingly submitting their information, photos, what they had for breakfast, shoe size, who they're married to, the list of information you willingly give away, is endless, right? But a few months prior to Facebook and social media springing up, people forget the internet's not that old. YouTube only actually came out in 2005.
Yeah.
It's not a very new thing. It's it is a new thing. Yeah, it's a newish thing. But so now that we've got these means of, we don't really need to track people. We've got people on social media. Not everyone uses it, but, that's a good percentage of the population.
Yeah, but everyone now's getting into double standards.
But now, at the moment, we're all queuing up to give samples to check if we're testing COVID positive or not, which is a giant database of DNA somewhere. Do you know?
And even these systems don't work. I mean, how many times now lately that people get frustrated over either their phone, their TV, their car, because there's something electrical gone wrong with it, or everything electrical lately seems to be like fucking up.
Well, he thinks it's something like Nibiru or something like.
No, I just think
some sort of electromagnetic interference from the planet.
I got interestingly enough, I got a message the other last week about a photograph that was taken, and he basically says, "Can you explain this?" And there was a hole in the sun, like. Yeah, he took a few photographs, videos, and it looked like an eclipse, but like whatever was in front of the sun was a lot smaller. Yeah, but it looked like a polo. The sun looked like a polo, and I looked into it for hours, looking for other examples or reasons why this could be, and couldn't explain it. It was amazing, and then I was like, well, it looks like something's in front of the sun. Yeah. But looking on all astrology websites and stuff like that, astronomer, to find out whether there was anything passing or any sort of eclipses or anything like that, and it was fuck all. Yeah.
Was the photo taken from Earth, or was it a satellite photo?
It was taken from the ground. This guy got his camera out and he took a photo, and he noticed there was this a hole in the sun. Yeah,
fuck me. And what shape was the hole?
It's perfect, sir. It was like a circle. It made it look like a donut. Yeah. Wow. No idea. No, because like I say, there was nothing passing. I'll find you the photo.
If it was possible Venus, he could have seen it, but
it was big. It was big enough to say it would look like a donut. Right. Do you know what I mean? It was like I say, I'll show you the photo.
Yeah.
Moving on. We were talking about the banking. I mean, when you talk about banking, it's like the Rothschilds banking family,
Rockefellers, JP Morgan.
Yeah, they all kind of come to mind. I mean, it makes me feel like these guys are the guys making the rules.
Yeah,
I mean, like I say, if the bank, for any reason, our governments need to go to these people for money, and they say no, they're not obliged to say yes.
We'll go bankrupt and call ourselves Shirley.
At the end of the day, as a citizen, if I'm in debt, right, and I've got a credit rating, and I go to the bank and say, can I have a loan? And they look at my credit history and say, no, right, or right, depending on my circumstances. They don't operate like that with governments. It seems it's just deeper and deeper in debt, and it just seems we own you.
It ties back to the cashless society thing, because I think a lot of people are still sleeping on the potential of losing cash, because fundamentally it's your independence.
Yeah.
You're able to swap this independent of anybody else. As soon as you let someone else look after that via some electronic means,
there's something going
like you said before, they can turn off the taps.
Yeah,
exactly.
And then how are you going to feed yourself?
Yeah, you fucked. You're giving yourself away, and you don't even realize.
Well, no, because you're kind of doing that now anyway. I mean, to an extent. I mean, I've said this time and time again. If you don't play ball with the way society operates and get a job and pay your mortgage or your rent and your council tax and your tax on your wages and all the rest of it, with promise of nice things and a happy life and somewhere nice to live and all the rest of it, you've got to play the game, and be involved and pay your bills to be in that lifestyle. If you don't do that and you're all fuck that, I'm not and drop off grid, then
and it's not only you.
It's not very nice.
It can suffer your families as well.
You know what? It seems like if you were to kind of be homeless for those reasons, like they don't want to get involved with society like that, then that's the people they're not really asked about, because they're not gaining from you in that respect.
But
we are all slaves to a system.
Well, we are.
Do you know? And the system is being operated in that way where it's like, well, we need a government to just keep the normal people in line, and they seem to be the people in power, but who really is? These organisations
corporations and stuff.
I mean, it's like, what was this panorama the other day about, like, investing
HSBC.
about investing in shady kind of banking secrets, and it was like there was a Russian family who were getting money from the Russian government and then investing it into the Conservative Party, and the Conservative Party turned around and said, well, there's no law against an English Russian national investing in our cause. And they would say that, wouldn't they? But for like 170 grand, you can have a game of tennis with Boris. It's like he's
Different
a puppet.
I mean, it's not. It shouldn't be any surprise to anyone that the banks are the biggest gangsters on the planet.
Yeah.
It's just so
governments follow.
It's just so scary to think that it's like ultimately, we rely on government information as that they're the people in charge.
Tell the truth.
But when you start realizing all this is out there and start digging a bit about these organizations, you've got secret societies, it makes you think, well, are they really the people in charge, and do they really care about us? Do you know what I mean? And
we're property. We're a commodity in the end of the day.
You were said, what's this? I mean, we've talked about that as well, haven't they? About when you're born, and your birth certificate's actually like a deed, isn't it? It's a bond.
Your birth certificate. There's a number at the top. I think it's in red, or your national insurance number. If you go to anyone who's got access to the internal markets, and you put them numbers in, them letters, because they're solely for you and you alone. No one else around the world should have them numbers back.
No, we've done it, haven't we? We've checked into ours.
Look into the shares and share market, and you're there.
There's like absolutely loads of money next to your name.
It works out.
It's crazy, and
Billions.
you can go. There's a website where you can put in your certain bits of information, and it gives you a list of anything that's attached to your national insurance number in terms of bonds.
Wow,
and it is crazy.
Send me a link to that.
We'll find it for you and send it. I think we posted it on our website, I'm sure, but I'll find it for you and send you a link.
Yeah, I did it myself. And
the movement against this sort of thing, and I've forgotten what it's called, and it's they say I'm a person of the land or something.
Yeah, that's right.
It's all under the straw man. You've got a straw man, so basically you're two people. You are you, as you are. And then you've got a
business entity,
and whatever you've been doing, and writing, especially like when you write in capitals, that's doing it in business. If you do it in little letters, that's doing it as you. But it also goes into loads of like.
I always write in capitals. Well, that's because I'm all business.
Well, you're doing it all business, yeah, basically. But there's loads of stuff on it. If you look,
he actually goes by his bond number, don't you?
Oh no, I go by no.
What is it? Your number? Come on, give us your number. He puts
you
it on
about UCC 1/308.
That's it.
Right, that's different. That's on the law because your signature is supposed to be.
He doesn't sign anything
with
his name. He signs it with his number.
Well, no, I sign it with my name. But if you write UCC/108 over the top, which is Uniform Commercial Law, which is under Roman law, which means it's a business law basically. That means that every country around the world has to abide by these laws. Now, if you write that above it, most companies will probably question it and turn you away, because if they accept it, it means they can't move that signature off there. If they copy that signature, all you have to do is go to court when you find out, walk in court, ask to get done. You don't even have to be there. As soon as you walk in, they've got done. They're done for. They can't get out of it basically. Yeah. But I've been trying to find. There's loads of questions around it because it's used a lot in the US Now it's used over here, and I've been trying to make sure that it does be used over
apparently,
here.
I've heard a few cases where someone's used, because obviously, we're going back to that, national insurance name thing, and you've got funds there.
Yeah.
People have actually used that in court to pay debts.
Yeah. Not massive debts, because you can only use the interest. But you can't use the actual money, because what it turns out to be
apparently it's not your money.
No, it's the same as what companies used to do a couple of years ago, which is they'd put insurance on people, and then when they die, they collect the insurance. Yeah.
It's true.
It's true. But on you... it's
like you'll start getting people at the door going, "Are you a smoker?" I'm like, "Yeah," and they're like, "You want to quit? Your insurance policy premiums will go down."
Yeah, it's mad, because when you're born, someone basically, not once but loads of people will put a bet on you of about like 10,000, and then they collect the interest every year.
It's crazy to think how much sort of kind of things, how much thought has been put into just the average person on an individual control level, or having something on somebody, like you say, putting insurance policies out, and
Technically, I could do it with you.
Well, I could put one out on you, but it's like but then it's like we're going to just bump each other off, or it's like,
this is it.
Meet strangers on the train type shit.
But what they do it in millions. You know what I mean? Because there was a case about 5 years ago where I can't remember the corporation. I think it was a drinks corporation, but the family had a loss. I think the father. So they went to they got a whisper that they got insured. The company actually had insurance on him, so they went and checked it out. Took him to court. Went through court, and they went, "Yeah, we did got insurance, but we put the money down. We collect the insurance." But they were like, "Well, shouldn't we get some of it, because it was?" And he's like, "No, why? We're a business."
Well, what about the will? Because the last will and testament, basically, if he says but at the end of the day, it's like all assets, isn't it? It's like if I leave all my assets to my next of kin, that means all assets. It doesn't any insurance policies that are in my name.
Right. Well, do you know
then
how
they should
these
be
MPs
going
get
to
away
my
with
next
stuff?
of kin? Surely.
Do you know how these MPs and celebrities get away with stuff? It's a simple thing. It's what's it called now? Mine's gone blank.
Come on, like they just put all the money offshore.
Trust. That's it.
Oh, trust
funds. Now, if you get a trust fund, you cannot be investigated, and you can delay stuff.
That makes sense, actually.
And near enough every MP is in a trust fund, and all them dodgy people out there, they're in a trust fund because it's an easy access to stop the government and looking at your stuff. I mean, you can get pulled over in your car, but your car's put in trust, and you could say to the copper, "We meet once a year, so I can't give you any details. I can't tell you anything."
It's like all those people who claim diplomatic immunity.
Yeah,
do you know, like,
after
and
6
fucking
months,
go, "Yeah, I'm a diplomat. I can do what I like." And it's like, nah, you can't. You still got to. In fact, you should be a bit more cautious. Being in another country.
There's that tragic case, wasn't there? The young lad. I think it was a northern lad, was it? Who was it? Right. Down in London.
Was he? Yeah. Was he? Was it London? Yeah.
He got hit and killed, didn't he?
The biker.
Yeah, he was.
The young lad who got run over. Yeah.
Well, that's kind of what I was referring to, boys. Like, she's claimed diplomatic immunity, and I just think that's cheeky as fuck. Anyway,
you
know
it now.
The fact that you can go, what? Diplomatic immunity.
Yeah, but after that, now it seems to be the same with the law. It is the same with the law. After the fact, you can't do it. So now they can't. Any of the other families who have come over from America can't use that no more.
We were talking a minute ago about kind of being initiated into kind of these things. I mean, like, there was a lot of, we were also talking about the Templar, and I mean, we could say that this stuff's gone that far back, that it's linked to the Templar, or it was an idea that was manipulated, or kind of changed around, because and people like Woodrow Wilson and, George Bush both were big, like, advocates of the one world, new world order government idea.
And Reagan told us about it.
Again, we were saying about the Skull and Bones. They were both in that. So from straight away from kind of in early education, they're being kind of told that this is a really good way of operating, or have this sort of grand master plan.
Yeah, brainwash.
It's
from birth.
Grandmaster, that's the right term as well, because that it's another link. It's quite interesting, the link between the Templars and Freemasonry. So the Templars' main man was the Grand Master, and it's the same in Freemasonry.
Right.
Well, I think it's Worshipful Master, maybe in one of the rites. But the link is like when the Templars were being persecuted, they reckon that some of them landed in Scotland.
Yes, yeah.
And they went to help out Robert the Bruce, who was fighting the English.
Yeah, that's where I was getting thingy with Scotland earlier.
That's where they won the two battles.
And then that links to William St. Clair.
Yes, that's right.
You heard of Roslyn Chapel?
Yeah, yeah. Sweet sounds in that place.
Oh, I do. Tell me more.
Oh, well, the symbols on the wall and that, someone did some tests on...
Well, that's the thing to say. There was loads of symbols everywhere, aren't symbols,
and it was like, it's another kind... I suppose it's another code. And it's another version of putting a code.
Well, this is what I was saying about kind of like the Templar cross and stuff showing up. It's showing up on Oak Island. That's been etched into a rock. That prison in France where they were held. These Templar crosses in there. Scotland. They've had influence. Whether they took wealth that they'd kind of got from wherever, other means, and brought it to a final place, and then has set up shop and established like a new banking system.
I reckon it's got under it, I believe.
Well, the Templars didn't sort of keep the money either.
But I believe didn't they go to places to bury a lot of them?
They would have kept some, but the wealth was ordered to be transferred to the Hospitallers. You heard of that? The Knights of the Hospital of St. John.
Right, okay.
They were like, they were another Holy Order's military unit at the same time as the Templars, the Hospitallers.
Okay.
And all the wealth from the Templars was transferred to the Hospitallers when they were persecuted.
Do you think all this ended
what's
up
interesting
back at
is that the Hospitallers you can trace back forward to today.
Right. And where have they ended up?
Sorry?
Where have they ended up then, the Hospitallers? Because...
Well, have you heard of the Knights of Malta?
No. Yeah, actually, I have. Yeah, I've heard of them.
Well, when they got kicked out of the Holy Land, the last stronghold in the region was Malta. They practically ran the island, and that was the last place they were holed up at. So there's this sort of continuity through the Knights of Malta through to some other. It's got a different name, but it's the same organisation essentially. The remnants of it. Whereas Templars, a lot of people connect the Templars to Freemasonry, don't they?
Yeah. Well, I do. And that's through St. Clair.
Yeah, that Roslyn Chapel. Have you seen the maze that's carved in at the chapel?
Yeah.
No, I've not actually. Do you know what? I probably have, but then I've not retained it. But go on.
Yeah, it's like a part of the sculpture in the architecture. It's like corn maze.
Yeah.
Strange. But the chapel was built. I think late 14th, early 15th century, and maize or corn is native to the Americas.
Yeah, so it wouldn't have even been. Shouldn't have even been there. Yeah,
it's before Columbus had gone over.
Well, there's a lot to suggest that he wasn't the first to travel over there. I mean, obviously there was natives over there, but yeah, there's plenty. I think there's a few stories of was it the Nordics was supposed to have gone over, and they've left. Apparently, there's a marker stone off one of the coasts of New England, I think it is, and it's full of Nordic like carvings. And they think that it predates the idea of Columbus by fucking a long way.
500 years.
Yeah, so, there's lots to suggest that. But I think, obviously, it's so established. as there's loads of history that we've had an episode on this, and we've had a guy come, a guest from Deep in History podcast, and we were talking about how accurate history is, and that's a great example because it's like, Christopher Columbus discovered America, but did he? Well, that's what we're going with, because we've had it like that for so long. And in that respect, you can, I'm not saying it's true, but you can kind of see what these flat earthers are saying. They're kind of like, nothing, what we've been told in school isn't exactly 100%, not that bit, not the flat earth bit, but, I
think a lot of it's just sort of hidden or lesser known history. I'm not convinced there's like a conspiracy to sort of rewrite history in such a...
Oh, I've got to disagree there because especially with like Iraq and what had been going on in the Middle East with all the destructions of artwork.
How do you mean? What?
Oh, right. So that's that's destroying culture.
Yeah.
It's like when ISIS they took the temple at Palmyra, and not the temple, well, the ruins, and they start defacing stuff and smashing it to pieces.
I've got to give the hand, in I think it was Hong Kong when they were rioting and they were basically protecting artwork because obviously they were rushing buildings and stuff like that, but then like museums and whatnot. But then they were like trying to protect anything like artwork. So I think like people have got a bit more kind of sense when it comes to protecting this sort of stuff. They're always going to be like fucking idiots who will go, deface something.
Yeah, but no, I think the Western world does it, and they have done over the past centuries as well.
World War II's got a lot to say about that, hasn't it? Because obviously there's been famous artworks that have been moved around for centuries.
There's ways to keep people's eye on something big. Well, something big's going on, but is a little item in the ethos of everything, really.
I think you're right that there's a lot of suppression of history.
Yeah, a lot of artwork is still in the back of a museum. They're not even being looked at. Get some money in there and like get your artwork out, and more people will come out and go, oh, so that's how and they could make a better, I suppose, living.
Yeah,
and keep their artwork going and telling us.
I tell you one secret organisation, that we've not touched on tonight, which I think is just brilliant. It's David Icke's lizard conspiracy.
Oh, we're going there, are we?
It's a secret organisation, isn't it? Apparently, these world leaders who are shape-shifting lizard bitches.
It's the Anunnaki, isn't it?
Is it the Anunnaki?
Yeah, because Anunnaki was they were. Yeah, they're supposedly the main woman who actually created the gods to actually come down to do thing was a lizard woman.
Was she a lizard woman?
Yeah.
Well,
originally,
you see, because I'm confused now. Because
I think she did second year geography for me, actually, the lizard woman.
Yeah, we had one like that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure she was older than the dawn of time, but fucking hell. What was it?
She could have told you the truth then.
Well, kind of the way I kind of saw that was, this. Maybe it's just Doctor Who, but like the idea that we're not the only species that have evolved to become intelligent and upright walking and all the rest of it, like humanoid. That maybe. We are sharing the planet with another species that have gone underground. I don't know.
I think a few. We haven't even touched the ocean,
But whether they're controlling us by a system of kind of having a secret organisation.
Well, if they're technically...
Well, David Icke seems to think so.
And, but then you would... Realistically, now you would see more evidence. I would have thought you'd see a lot more proof. But then again... You say that about UFOs, you know what I mean? But it depends on the way you see it.
He says the large-eyed humanoids from Zeta Reticuli located about 39 light years from Earth.
Yeah.
David Icke said that?
Yeah, David Icke's lizard. He said...
Very specific.
Well, this is it.
Yeah.
He's got quite a big kind of...
did a book on it?
He wrote a book on it.
Have you heard of Fermi's paradox?
No, go for it.
It's the thought that if the universe is infinite and if there would be intelligent life out there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course. Yeah.
We would have found them by now.
Yeah, and they changed it as well, and science. But
do you not see that we've actually started looking? We're getting the technology's caught up to the point where we are able to look seriously. Yeah, and they are finding life. They're finding it on our doorstep. Yeah. It was only a couple of weeks ago. It was like bacteria found on Venus. And, and
because of stuff like that, they've actually becoming to change their mind, and they're saying now, instead of it like being 1 in a trillion, it's like 1 in like 100. So they've recognised that there's enough evidence now to say that we're not the only fuckers around here. You know what I mean? We've got neighbours. They might be popping in, they might not be, but we've got neighbours. Let's go and have a look.
Yeah.
One theory I like about why there might not be aliens on other planets.
Okay, go on.
Are you not an alien believer?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, go for it then. Let's see your theory.
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Oh, right. Yeah. Fair play. Yeah.
But it's an interesting idea in that as a species evolves, it can only get to a certain point before it destroys itself.
You go in stage,
there. I think we're not even in stage 1, but apparently it goes to something like stage 5.
Apparently Boris Johnson says we're level 4. So you know what I mean? Fucking
Bojo says a lot of things.
You can't even call me there.
I think, like, I do agree with that. But if there is, but then again, I always think that do
you believe in God,
like your T-shirt says, life will find a way, right?
Yeah.
And there'll always be a couple of people who survive, and the whole thing starts again.
But there's only 2 options.
There's a potential. That we're not even the first. This isn't even the first time round for us on Earth.
Stage of man, apparently.
Oh, well, this is something I love. The
like
civilization theory.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. That's why I'm such a fan of Graham Hancock and his books, because he's been going on about this stuff for 30 odd years.
Well, it's kind of like Battlestar Galactica meets Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, isn't it? It's like the idea that hair stylists and phone sanitizers all ended up back on Earth and started the
revolution
or started humanity up again.
We've got have you heard of David Matheson?
I've heard the name, yeah.
He's an author, and he's coming on our show, I think, early November, I think. And he's been analysing star myths.
Right.
Like all the myths across civilization, whether it's Epic of Gilgamesh or Noah's Flood or the Greek myths, whichever you want to pick, that they're all based on astronomy. That's like the root of them.
Yeah.
He believes that there's a big message being told in these myths through this astronomy about a previous civilization that didn't make it.
Yeah. I reckon they could be, because there's a lot of telltale signs. I mean, I like the idea. I mean, we could go on for another hour on this, but I mean, the idea that Mars had something to play in it, and we basically maybe came to Earth from Mars, created a civilization that destroyed each other. Yeah. And like you say, it was, and the remnants of that were what was left, just fucking didn't have a clue what was going on, and that started humanity as we know it now.
Oh, we're brain.
Well, it ties into the Atlantis myth as well, which is fascinating.
Yeah. Where do you think it's...
In a way, how do you mean?
Well, that the myth or the story of Atlantis is about this advanced civilization that came to an end, and that maybe this precursor civilization, through symbolism and individuals going out, spread this knowledge to
definitely. I think that it shows, because these places like we've talked about, like the pyramids, and how kind of those pyramids. It's not so much that these pyramids found in other countries. It's that they're all basically in the same formation, all looking up at the same stars.
Worldwide. Dave Matheson goes into this in his book. He says it doesn't matter geographically where these things are. It could be some tribe in Africa. It could be North American Indians, China, India. They all have these myths with these common themes that relate to the constellations.
Yeah.
So it suggests like a universal
this
knowledge
has
that was
travelled,
passed
hasn't
down.
it? Yeah,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
knowledge is definitely not just
That's
something
why,
that's been originated. And I mean, it's
You can't be originated independently
Exactly,
in all these different
yeah.
places.
That's
totally.
why I like the Anunnaki storyline more than I do the Bible, to be honest, because it was way before the Bible. There is parts and names from the Bible within the Anunnaki stones, and they tell of like them from above come down, did this, and this, and if they're actually writing something down, you're not going to write something fake.
Well, you might.
Propaganda.
Well, now we
Ancient
would.
Anunnaki propaganda.
Yeah, but back then you wouldn't do anything because it would have been that important on writing on stone, and you could only, you ain't got a photocopy, you can't do it twice. You got to make sure you do it the first time. And
That's why the whole.
You can have more truth back then than you are now.
Isn't that why the whole like Mormon thing almost fell apart? Like because he was like saying that he was doing it off these tablets, but he couldn't do it again because I think someone stole the tablets, so
Someone
he couldn't
stole
give
his golden tablets.
That's it.
Yeah, Joseph Smith, a renowned con man.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he's brilliant, is it?
Yeah,
Like,
the gold tablets of Moses just sort of disappeared when he wasn't looking.
Yeah. Well,
some dirty little dudes.
well, I think we can all agree that secret organisations are probably, what were we going to say? Dodgy as fuck. Conclusion.
Yeah.
I think like in terms of it does.
Are they hiding for the good or are they hiding?
Well,
for
no.
the bad?
Are they working for the good or the bad? I think it's like are they? Is it? It seems like. Why would you need that? Yeah, it can't be about money, so there must be an ultimate goal.
Yeah, control.
So,
control power, one will.
Freemasonry, for an example. I mean, they're well known for their charitable works.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah. Yeah, they do.
Yeah, but that's how you get people on board. If I was going around the way going, I'm a politician, and going
totally,
right,
and that's why I think cults work. That's why cults work, because and cults you could argue are very similar to religions because once you've got followers and people on board, then they can kind of
take it.
And you were touched on it earlier about kind of giving up land and putting stuff in the wills. I think in a lot of cults, they end up doing that. And sort of give away
Scientology.
Yeah, 25% of the wages or something like that.
You're right, Tom.
Well, yeah, they must get a killing off Tom there.
Yeah,
Tiny Tom.
Hell, yeah.
Have you seen that video of him getting that award?
No.
Oh fucking hell! After this, you got to go on YouTube and put Tom Cruise Scientology medal.
Oh right, I'll definitely.
It's him getting this award, and he's getting this gold medal. It's like the size of a fucking dinner plate.
Oh my god!
It's probably one of the gold tablets.
Oh god, you got to see! It's fucking hilarious.
Well, tell us about. Tell us where we can find your podcast, Phil. Where can we find
anywhere where you're listening to this? If you're in an app, whatever app you're on, podcast app, just search for Amish Inquisition, you'll find it.
Excellent. And what sort of stuff are you covering coming up? What sort of episodes? You said you had some guests coming up.
Yeah, well, we've got a guest every week, so we have an hour or so of a chat with a guest for the first hour, and then we do a bit of a debrief section for the second hour and go over some news and some silly stuff.
Excellent.
Guests who've we got? We've got this. We're doing a little midweeker. They normally come out Mondays, but we're dropping an extra one on Thursday this week because last week was a bit of a blowout. 100 episodes. We just got pissed and talked a lot of nonsense, really.
Well, congratulations on the 100 episodes.
Man.
Oh, yeah, cheers.
Yeah, man. It's a proper achievement.
150.
Well, we've just hit what? Oh, is it 150, you guys?
Yeah, we're 150. Yeah, you're 100.
We're 100. Yeah, we've just had our 100. You've just had your 150.
Yeah.
So yeah. Well, congratulations to everyone. Go on.
Sorry. So Thursday, that's what I was saying. Yeah, the extra one. That's going to be Ricky Varandas. I don't know if do you listen to Union of the Unwanted?
No.
Or The Ripple Effect. He's from there.
Right, okay.
He's big in the conspiracy game. Have you
right.
not heard Union of the Unwanted?
To be honest, right, it's weird because when we started on started the podcast up, we hit social media like a lot of people do. You're trying to get a bit of interest and stuff. And a lot of the kind of podcast community is true crime. there's a lot of true crime podcasters out there. You got, and I've been trying to kind of find more conspiracy podcasters, because what I like about, especially Twitter, is there's a really big podcast community on there. So, you get a couple of good conspiracy podcasters in a podcast group, then, it's you can all kind of bounce ideas off each other for topics, discuss theories, that sort of thing. Almost like a group chat, and it's like, but it's, I can't find any, if anyone's out there and you're listening and you want to invite me and Amish over to your group, yeah, sorted, get it done. But yeah, I mean, I think like they are good ideas because obviously you're able to kind of like share these sort of ideas. But because like the groups we're in are all a lot true crime or just general podcast sort of groups, they don't, cater as much. If you like,
we're not big on social media. We don't really like it, but it's sort of a necessary evil.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
started using Instagram when the lockdown started. But so I think that's the least toxic one I've found so far. So
they're all owned by Facebook, no matter which way you turn. As long as you're not on TikTok, I'm on it. Everyone's on that. It's like, well, until they ban it.
Well, yeah.
Well, thanks for coming. Oh, go on. What was you going to say?
No, it's all right.
Well, go on.
No, I was just going to say they're not banning it now in America.
I know. Oh, yeah. Apparently, a notification came through saying we got saved at the 0 hour.
Yeah.
By a secret organisation.
Too shared.
Microsoft.
It was Microsoft. Yeah, probably. Well, Phil, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on. I think between us, we could discuss theories all day.
Yeah.
But it's been brilliant. Get over and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts to the Amish Inquisition. Great show. You'll love it. I
did like you one you did a couple of weeks ago actually with the banker. Some banker, yeah. He was talking about like the in Sweden, I think it was, where all the bankers meet up and
was it the odd man out?
That's the fella. Yes. I did really like that actually. He had a lot of
he's mega into his what do you call them? Secret organisations like the CFR and Trilateral Commission and Bones and all this.
Yeah,
this is the thing. You see, when you get it, we need to get a conspiracy community going.
Yeah.
So right, well,
sounds good,
mate. Well, we're making a start anyway. So
start somewhere.
Got to start somewhere.
Let's
sharing dodgy, declassified documents.
This is the new world order.
This is the new world order coming soon to your ears. Yeah. Right. Well, cheers for coming on, mate.
Thanks, pal.
We'll see you again soon.
It's been good.
Excellent. Take care.
See
nice one. See you in a bit.
Bye-bye.
Cheers again, Phil, for coming into the
Phil.
show, mate. Amish Phil there, absolute legend. Do you know what? He was like, he had such a lot to say on the Templar. I wouldn't mind him coming in again just to talk about that. Do you know what I mean? Because obviously it's a pretty interesting topic.
Yeah, definitely.
Secret societies, what did you think? I mean, have we missed any? I think we covered quite a lot in that.
I know we've missed some.
Why? What did we miss?
What was it? The Bound Council. There was
the Nottingham Massive. Who else?
Hampton Crew.
The Hampton Crew.
Yeah.
The Longsight Crew.
Yeah.
Who else?
There was.
There's few. Yeah, we probably missed, but big ups.
Oh, yeah.
And all that. Yeah, Saz. Well,
maybe we'll do it again and add more to it.
If you had any comments about what with anything we've had to say on with Phil today, can we give us a shout at neverstraightanswer@gmail.com?
Yeah.
Or if you want to come and guest up with us, do a bit of a collab. You know where we are.
Yeah,
we're always up for it.
Send an email.
Yeah, well, we've got some news, haven't we?
Are.
It's always news time.
We are.
To flying around. I learnt this new thing off Ted Danson. There we go.
Oh, right. You have to show me how to do that.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, impress the girls, that one, mate.
With the news. It's the news! So much news. So much news for you tonight. I've got pure sex news.
Sex news?
It's all about the sex. It's all about sex, baby.
Bugger.
No, I've got a couple of Naughty newses.
Yeah.
Naughty news.
Oh, yeah.
What's your news? You've got some news for me.
Yeah, I've got some news.
Some funny news. I was going to say, because I forgot my patter then for a moment. We've searched the internet for a whole 25 minutes to find you the best and the craziest weird news from the planet Earth, space, and beyond.
The galaxy of NASA.
It was a quest, if you like. We went on an epic journey.
We did.
All the way through the news sites, which were dominated mainly by one fella.
Oh, yes. He's dominating quite a lot lately, I think.
Fucking dominating in the wrong way.
Oh,
I'm talking about
true.
Mr. Dominate Donald Trump.
Yes, the man is in the building.
Oh, fuck off. Do you know what? I'm at the point of loathing with that fucking guy now, honestly.
You were steaming when I was walking in before.
You know what really grinds my gears?
Yeah, I knew this was coming. I knew that was coming.
That isn't even sum it up, right?
Yeah.
The guy, right, is a fucking jackass, right? And I know you love him, yeah, and, you know, I can't persuade you in any way, yeah, because you're a typical Trump supporter, right?
Oh, no.
Wait, no,
Trump supporter.
No.
No.
Right, listen.
I'm not a typical Trump supporter.
Listen, right. The point is, as I explained to you earlier, right, if I have I like somebody and I like what they have to say, right? A prime example, Alex Jones, right? Alex Jones used to watch the guy, used to think, he makes some good points, all the rest of it. Started coming out with some crazy bullshit, and then started doing some crazy bullshit. I ended up going, switching off from you, right? Because there's a certain line, where you have to look at that and go, oh, mate, I was wrong. But the problem being is I think a lot of people get to a point where it's all or nothing. You've backed this guy so long that the crazier he seems and the more fucking bizarre he acts, you've got no choice than to go, but he's doing it for a reason, I don't understand. I don't know. I honestly don't understand why people can't go, fair enough, we give him a shot. The guy's a fucking idiot. Let's get rid of him, Fair enough. He's impressed me just getting in, but he had no business being in the White House, right? And this has just proven it because he's just proven that he's got absolutely no consideration for anybody in his circle, any of his staff, anybody. And he's going on now, he sounds like he's just come out of a fucking Michael Bay Transformers reboot where he's like, I've just met Regeneron. And I'm healthier than ever now because I've had my Regeneron.
Man, he's Superman, man.
Sounds like he's just fucking been butt-foot by fucking... What's it? Like... by fucking...
By Corona?
No, I was going to say not fucking Corona. What's your...
Pence?
No.
Hey,
not Optimus Prime. The other one.
Oh,
Megatron.
Megatron's left him all.
With his Regeneron. I just don't get the guy. And you know what? As ludicrous as that just sounded, that's still fucking more coherent than 90% of what Donald Trump's ever said. So do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think the turnaround on his Corona was just absolutely a miracle. And do you know what? He must be Captain America style shit.
So
he was able to kick that Corona's ass in such a short turnaround and then return back to work after his Regeneron.
Yeah, that's it, man. Kick some booty.
Mate.
You see? As soon as he seen the air, he was like,
do you know what? I'm so rattled, I'm going to press it again.
You know what really grinds my gears?
I know, it's usually for me, that.
I know. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, anything you want to add to that?
With Donald Trump having like his little problems there was a report that on Twitter that come out.
Go on.
Right. Now, there's a few of them here. Since early this year, Chinese troops have been landing in certain areas of Canada. Training.
Well, that means you only have to go over the fucking mountains.
Well, no, that's like putting a flamethrower against a flock of flies.
Well, what do you mean?
Well, I don't think there's going to be anything suspicious about it because a majority of them, from what we can see from the films, are women.
Do you know what, right? If you went on the streets of America and said that,
do
you really think that wouldn't be an issue? I think some people would be like, what?
Yeah, I think some people are going to be very aware.
It's Canada, though,
like,
isn't it? So they can't really say much.
Well, this is it. Why is Canada doing it in the first place? It was questioned. Well, why are you letting the Chinese come in and
they're just here on a weed pickup?
But not just in one area, though. They're all over the place. They're being filmed down the road, like marching.
Really?
Yeah, and it's like, yeah. I mean, there's if you go to
tell people where to look for this, man, because I don't know. I mean, I've not seen this.
Well, if you go to /CBLCRSHR/ status, and then put in 131463641140917866
Jesus
24 small s the equal sign and 20,
God.
and you'll get straight to the page. Well, that's what the page come up was. So it's like, right, fucking hell, got right all that
there
shit.
You go. Try and put a link in there.
Yeah,
somewhere.
and there should be other links to other ones there. But that one you see in Ladies March, basically.
Right, okay.
And it's like, hold on. So I'm not saying it's not a threat, but generally you wouldn't put the women in first. You know what I mean?
Well, no, I don't know. Because
it's Chinese.
I'm talking about. Listen, right? I sent you a video of the Hyde Park protests the other day.
Yeah.
And there was one thing that really made me laugh. That the police were being kind of herded out of Hyde Park, right?
Yeah.
But they had all the female officers at the front.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. And they were a bit rough as well.
Oh, some of them female officers were waving the baton. She was proper waving a baton.
She was looking back like, you can hold me back, I'm going to have this.
A couple of them had to hold her back at one point. I'm getting at is, did they think by putting the ladies in front that they'd be less likely to lash out? Or is that a strategy, or is that a pussy move?
No, I think it was just a move that she wanted to.
No, because he was all that. Apart from one guy, most of that front line was women.
Yeah.
And all the men were in the middle going,
yeah. You stay there, love. I'll be back in a minute. I'll just go make a cup of tea.
But it's that choose your sides, isn't it? I mean, the police. The police at the end of the day are still citizens as well, man. You should be like, what you thinking? I think it's almost like it almost reminds me of Star Wars with how the police operates.
I've got nothing wrong with the police, but I have got the way that
I've never had any dealings with the police.
Have been trained and
I have actually. I've been stopped a few times.
Yeah,
and they've said I look dodgy. And they said, what was it?
What are you up to, you little tinker?
That some people have matched my description and they want to talk to me. Yeah, you know what I mean?
You look like that kind
and I've gone, right. I do look a dodgy bastard, don't I? I get followed. But
scare yourself when you pass a mirror.
I get followed in shopping centres a lot.
Hey, I get that as well.
It's mad, isn't it?
It is, and it's like.
No, do you know what I do? Start following them. They don't like it.
No, I just walk up to them. Are you following me, man?
I've done that as well, but then they just say they're not.
I'm just looking over here, mate.
And then that causes a bit of confrontation. So I always find that if someone starts following you shopping, you're innocent and you're not actually doing anything, but they're following you. Yeah. So just not run, but quickly get down. Just quickly get down the aisle and hide from them. Yeah, right, and just hide around the corner.
Make it a game.
Yeah, make it a game. Make it a game. They can follow you up, lead them around for fucking ages.
Hey, them guards are stood there bored nearly all day, you know what I mean? Give them a little entertainment.
Make a game of it.
Go out and entertain a guard.
There you go.
Yeah.
See?
Entertain a guard week, I think we should have.
Just fucking fuck them about and just pretend to steal and go,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, You just want me in the back office, don't you?
Check this out, right? So there was a flight attendant had to help deliver an infant alongside a senior gynecologist who just happened to be on a flight.
Yeah.
Right? Had the baby on the plane.
Whoa,
So the plane ended up landing with an extra passenger. So it's not all bad news, is it?
Yeah, and he should have an international passport.
He could do. Where was he? Where are you born? International passport.
Well, if he was 3 miles out of America's airway.
In the air, mate.
Yeah.
Planet Earth,
but
baby.
it depends. It's on
hashtag Planet Earth, baby.
Yeah, man. He might just choose to be American.
Well, he's not American. It was over in New Delhi.
In
Delhi or Bangalore today.
Congratulations. Yeah,
Hope it's all good. It was Indigo Aircrew, so congratulations to the team there as well for delivering a little baby.
Yeah,
little baby
good.
boy. Oh, it's good, isn't it?
Yeah, man.
Well done.
Yeah, there's still nice people out there.
Well, the crew apparently were praised for their amazing teamwork.
Yeah,
so
they
good
should
stuff.
be, man. Yeah.
But they were assisted by a gyno who seriously just happened to be on the fly, I think.
Hey, lucky.
Well done.
Lucky, yeah, man. Yeah.
At least he had a bit of experience down there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that shouldn't be there. What's going on?
Never mind. Right, any news you want to follow that up with?
Yeah, all right.
You had something about a world record, didn't you?
Yes.
I've got a world record attempted.
Have you got a world record?
I've got a world record as well. So
I've got a teenager world record.
I've got a teenager world record. I bet it's not the same one, though.
No, 12-year-old.
Well, she's just a teenager.
And he broke the record a couple of hours before he turned 13.
Oh, no, this is a lady teen.
Right.
Go on, so what's he broke a world record in?
He's broke a world record in fusion reactor.
Get in, son.
Yeah, he built a fusion reactor.
We talked about this kid who's built the fusion reactor, but I mean,
he's a proper Sheldon, this lad.
Yeah. We have talked about him before.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's actually won
He's actually
just for being the youngest
record,
kid.
Yeah, to ever build a fusion reactor at home, and it being used.
Oh,
which I would have thought it would have been done for terrorism and shit.
It's like one of the parents has turned around and said, he's gone, Dad, can we go Disneyland? And he said, no cold fusion, son, and I'll set you.
Yeah.
Giving it an impossible task. And then he's gone, all right.
Yeah.
Gone to his bedroom and went, smashed it. Let's get your coat. Bless him.
Yeah, good lad, man.
Well, I've got a team who's got a world record for a totally different reason.
Oh.
This team secured the record for world's longest female legs.
Jesus, must be big.
Record-breaking legs. She's not fucking that tall.
No, she can't be that tall.
I've got an error. I've got an error in me page loading up, and
looks like she's touching the top of the house.
Oh no, that's just perspective, isn't it? Come on,
well, yeah, that's it. They're playing with my mind.
She's got world-breaking legs. She's not.
Oh,
she breaks. She's fucking.
Whoa,
there you
Jesus.
go. She's got super legs. She's like the Lady Jazz.
Oh man, that's massive.
She's a US teen. She's broke the world record for the longest female legs. Basically, how tall is she? She's 6'10".
Whoa.
So she's nearly 7 foot. Obviously,
mostly legs.
But mostly legs.
Yeah. Jeez.
Super legs.
You know what she'll be doing next, don't you?
What?
Catwalk.
Potentially, maybe. She's not. She's a pretty girl.
Yeah.
But I think she's only 17, so she's probably got school and
sort
like
school
that
out
to
before
do.
you think about
college and all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, she, according to the World's Guinness Book of Records, she was basically. Fucking hell, what was that?
Fly, mate.
Right.
I was being attacked.
She's smashing it at volleyball at school.
Oh, so, I bet. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hey, if she was getting it out, she's got the legs for it.
It's weird, though, because don't people with, super long legs, have problems?
Yeah, have problems later on,
so that's not very good, though, is it?
Well, no, but I suppose now, because we know more about that kind of muscle wearing and that they've got equipment to actually stop or...
Just don't take up Morris dancing, that's all. You'll have someone's eye out.
Oh, yeah, especially with them sticks.
Oh, God. Yeah, and I don't know.
God, what's he got to do with it?
Fucking Morris dancing. North Korea.
Ooh, North Korea, yeah.
They've had a big parade, haven't they, recently?
They have.
Have you seen the monster rockets they've got?
I have.
Oh, fucking huge ones, man.
Huge, big.
And I mean, he was showing them.
I think he's compensating for something.
Definitely. Well, he's only a little guy, isn't he?
Yeah.
But it appears that they've got quite a lot of ballistic missiles. Yeah. I think it was the 75th anniversary of
the ruling party.
Yeah. So see, you were suggesting that Kim Jong-un might have been in a bad way, but he was there to take the centre stage.
Yeah, it's because of his
lookalike.
No, it's because of he disappeared for a little while. His sister had been seen around, which she'd be the next one to roll.
What? So he'd had his teeth done?
I know when he come back, his teeth were different, and it was like they were saying that it looks suspicious that it could be someone else. It's not actually him.
Right. Okay.
I mean, come on, bad rulers have always had a doppelganger.
Yeah,
you know
of course,
what I mean?
and obviously to stop fucking panic. We
Yeah.
talked about it in the very first episode, Paul McCartney.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Why they might have done that.
Yeah.
You know, when that was the
always a
big
reason.
reason, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So, you know, I think, like, it's just a bit kind of always a bit weird when they start flashing off the Russians and the Koreans and they do these big military parades showing off their arsenal. I don't think... do we ever do that? I don't think we ever...
Yes.
Have we ever done that?
Yes.
Seriously, I don't think I've ever seen, like, parades of arsenals going through the streets of England.
Not in the streets of England, but we've done it on the seas and we've done it in places, you know, like in desert.
I've seen, obviously, they have, like parades of, like, you know, aerial fucking exhibitions.
I'll tell you what, I've seen...
Well, it's not a flex of might. It's more of a sort of a spectacle. Do you know what I mean? Something to see, something quite cool to see.
Yeah.
But I'd never look at it as a
Don't forget on the border,
a flex of military might.
Don't forget on the border in North and South Korea, that every year that like NATO, which we're a part of, goes over and does explosions and, you know, testing ranges on their tanks, their military planes and helicopters and that, which is it's been sort of a provocation for the North over a number of years. Which actually, it was only a couple of years ago that we were talking about that they need to stop that, and like we're stop being dicks and, you know, firing rockets over like Japan and doing all that kind of crazy shit.
Stop messing about.
Yeah, basically they're just playing these war games, innit, man? They're just playing war games.
Oh, man.
But it only takes one to fuck up, and then that's it. You know
right,
what I mean?
Right. Moving on, because we've got quite a lot.
Yeah.
The news. Oh my God.
Have you heard this?
Go on.
That
I've got some shockers, mate, coming up.
Jail employees face charges after a US court pronounced that they were torturing by punishing the inmates. Mainly 4 of them that they had tied up for a number of hours listening to Baby Shark song over and over.
So it's basically
and over
just torturing
and
them.
over.
That is a known, you know, fucking
it's CIA
tactic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was like Britney Spears or something daft.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't be surprised. But like, yeah,
Oklahoma prisons.
It is torture.
It
is a form of torture.
Yeah. Well, the court
if anyone
actually
who's
has
ever
put
lived
it
with a
as
fucking
torture.
noisy neighbour, you know, would testify to that.
Yeah.
It is torture.
Same tune over and over again.
So what was the reasons behind this? I mean, like,
well, it was punishment. So what they did is, you know, you won't do as you're told. We put you in the hole. You're still not doing as you're told. Right, fuck it. You're going in there with a couple of other people, and we're going to let you listen to this.
Oh, fucking hell.
They thought
savage.
they were doing, like, you know, nothing. But it's in serious point. It
but
can
at
fuck
some
my mind
point
up.
where it's continuous for fucking
You can
nothing.
fuck someone's
my God.
psychological mind up with that kind of shit.
Yeah, no, that's inhumane. That.
Yeah.
So what are they saying? Are they investigating them now? over this?
So yeah, I think they've been sentenced. I think
Who have
they're coming up to
the people who?
Yeah, because it's torture, isn't it?
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah.
Nice that they didn't get away with it.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I mean that's not to suggest that they were the first people they did that sort of shit to.
Well, this is it. I mean, and how many other prisons does the same thing? You know what I mean?
Well, this is it. I think the prison system in a lot of ways across the board needs a look at.
I think
you know,
a lot of stuff around the world at the minute needs a look at. You know what I mean?
hell.
And really
Well, this is the thing,
out.
isn't it? Because it's always a case of one thing at a time, or let's try and get this under control before we tackle the next thing.
Yeah.
But it's like, you
But
know,
then the hide shit
we're progressively devolving into this,
That's
like, you know, fucked up, you know,
System.
can't do anything, and like, what is actually the point? Do you know, in like, you know, just to stay in, and I understand where people, you know, were going on about liberties and stuff. Oh my God, there was a donkey came in then or something.
Kick me in here.
But you know, comes a point where you think, oh my God, it's been a long time now. Do you know, and there's a lot of people. I mean, myself included. I'm in that category where I've been on basically lockdown for
Yeah, you have,
a long time.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, frustrations, and then when it's all resurging, it's like, oh, here we go again. So stuff like the prisons, which is actually a really valid point, because all this stuff's happening and these are overcrowded, and this is a point about them needing to be reformed, because, you know...
Well, they're supposed to be building 10 prisons here in the next couple of years. We're supposed to be able to hold 80,000 prisoners, yet we've got 88,000 prisoners in, and that it's like free to a cell, or in a small cell where it's supposed to be 1 or 2. I mean, but then again, it's not like they're not getting the fucking luxuries, you know what I mean? They're getting a television as soon as you walk in, they're getting... you know, all the bits and bobs. Here's a card, go and ring your fucking wife whenever you want, and all that shit. So it's like, it's not exactly bad news for them, if you think about it. It's a holiday for some, if they've been there for a couple of months.
Well, this is it. Sometimes it is and sometimes it isn't, isn't it? Yeah, but I mean...
But then you've got the drugs that arrive in there, and you've got other stuff that happens. So you've got I suppose, in a balance.
It's a delicate system, isn't it? I suppose. Well, one guy who's actually going to be, I don't know why he's. I think it's a bit of a weird situation. This, I've got this story, right? So a Catholic priest, right? You might have read this, but this is a Catholic priest who was arrested after allegedly recording himself having sex with 2 dominatrix, on the altar of his church.
Oh, naughty boy.
So Reverend Travis Clark has been accused of having a threesome. Yeah.
And he's got such a cheesy grin on his face.
In his picture, he's got such a twat face. Right?
If you only knew what you were going to do in future.
So he's supposedly had a threesome with adult film actress Mindy Dixon, 41, and Melissa, Cheng, 23.
Okay.
In the St. Peter's and Paul's Roman Catholic Church in Louisiana on September 30th, right?
So watch your seats when you're getting there.
Could be a bit sticky.
Yeah, it could be.
They were caught in the act by a passerby who decided to check in on the New Orleans church after seeing a light on at around 11 p.m., right?
Yeah.
A court filing claimed, right?
Yeah.
Why is having a threesome a crime? Worthy of it going to court?
In a church?
It's in a church, so
working.
I mean, he should get a disciplinary from his bosses or whatever. You know, I think obviously it's not the done thing to do. I think it just kind of adds credence to the whole.
He's supposed to represent a certain way.
Yeah, of course he does, but we all know that these guys don't.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
and this is just fuel for the fire, right? Yeah. But I mean, this is a total kind of fetish thing where, you know, from both sides by the looks of it, because the girls look a bit kind of like you say, the dominatrixes, you know, and they want to dominate a priest in a church. Yeah, I think it's win-win for everybody in this situation. I think they're all consenting adults.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think what's happening in this situation is obviously he's done it in a workplace as well as a place of God. Right?
Yeah, can you imagine what the people around the area who got that church every day will be thinking?
But is that an arrestable offence?
Well, I don't know. It's an insult.
Of course it is. It's an insult by far. And I mean, obviously, all these churchgoers who attend this church will be fucking livid, and rightly so.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not fucking endorsing what he was doing, but I just can't understand why this is an arrestable offence.
Does it actually tell what his charges are?
Well, he was seen, the half-naked parishioner was seen leaving, having intercourse with the 2 women, and wearing who were both wearing corsets and high heel boots.
Yeah,
they were doing like basically fucking sex acts. Right. He was the group allegedly had the stage lighting, sex toys, and a mobile phone on a tripod filming the encounter.
Oh, they were pretty busy.
It was posted on the social media, basically accounts associated with Dixon.
Oh, shit.
And they said that the day before she was on her way to New Orleans to meet another dominatrix to defile a house of God. So they knew exactly what they were doing. Yeah. And like I say, I think these 2 dominatrix were well up for it, because like they were going to, like they say, defile a house of God. Yeah. This reverend has obviously fucking had his own kicks.
Yeah.
But I understand that it's a disgusting in terms of where he's done it and the way it's been done, and because of his position, and obviously his parishioners are not going to feel this is a fucking... They're not going to want to go and do church there anymore.
Trying to work out what charges...
I just don't understand what the charges are, because obviously he's been... the reverend's been, obtained, and taken in by the sounds of it.
And it doesn't sound like there was any drugs involved or anything like that. So, and they were old, like you said, they were old enough. Is he getting done for prostitution or somewhere? Could it be?
Well, they're accused of using sex toys at the altar of the church.
Yeah.
Basically, I can't understand what the charges are. But basically, police arrested them. Basically, and charged after. Wait, hang on.
Yeah, they're looking a bit.
You see, I can't see what the charges are.
Why would you want to do that kind of church
law? Oh wait, hang on. Church law states when sacred places are violated, they must be repaired by
eye for an eye.
Hang on. Pentil right before they can be used again.
Oh shit!
So, I don't know what that is. So it must be some sort of
church thing. If anything's violated, it's holy ground.
Yeah.
Like it has to be holy again, and they have to do certain things.
So it needs to be reornated, I suppose, before they can
that's it.
Come in and do anything. Well, I think that's a fucking weird story. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'll keep up with that. Because I want to kind of see what happens with old fucking Reverend. What's his name? Twat face.
Oh, I don't know.
Reverend Travis Clark.
He's got a wicked smile, son, but you look like a bag of rocks.
So, anything else you want to talk about?
All right. Let's go with a little entertainment.
Bloody hell. It's been a bit of a hard-going episode. We've talked about a lot of stuff tonight.
No, actually, I want to leave that till the end, actually. I want to talk about raccoons. Raccoons in the White House.
I thought you were going to say like Cyril Snare and like the 80s cartoon.
Oh,
the raccoons.
No. And don't worry, they weren't attacking Trump at the time.
That's damn.
Or any of the staff of that.
I think the animals are ganging up on him because he was a squirrel at his hospital.
Yeah, I've
seen that.
Yeah. But they are attacking someone, and that is all the reporters are being attacked
by raccoons.
Yeah, there was even.
I've got the best raccoons. They attack fake news all the time.
Well, yeah,
they're just attacking fake news.
He's got well trained, man.
When Fox News comes on my lawn, they know to attack foxes because they're so good.
Look where all your billions of tax money gone to. Yeah, man, he's security. His new security.
Yeah,
it's called the Raccoon Squad.
The Raccoon Squad.
Yeah. Getting rid of all them liars.
Wait, the raccoons going after the foxes.
Yeah, man.
I've got an animal that retrieved something in the news.
Oh, yeah.
A woman was mortified after her Labrador found a sex toy during a walk.
No.
And wouldn't let it go. Found a new best friend.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Yeah, he found a bone. Wouldn't bury it. Obviously, when it finds a new toy, it loves it. It's hard to get it off him. Do you know what I mean? Unfortunately, this dog walker
likes chewing the fat,
found a pretty embarrassing fucking toy, I suppose, in every sense of the word.
Oh yeah.
Carla Roberts was walking a Labrador named Charlie. When
bit of a Charlie.
When she thought he was playing with a stick.
Why is he playing dildo?
He looked up. He looked like he was having a great time anyway, as he would.
Yeah.
She decided to snap a photo and send it. In fact, she's just a dog walker, so he's not even her dog.
Oh, even her dog.
Yeah.
Oh my days.
But on closer inspection, she soon realised that the 1-year-old pup had actually found a big fuck off dildo and was carrying it around in its mouth, getting all types of fucking.
I'll tell you what, we're finding more dildos in the fucking woods than ever before.
This is the thing, isn't it? It used to be dirty magazines, and they used to blame that on men.
Yeah.
Right, can I just point something out?
Yeah.
Right.
Ladies go there too.
Right. Well. I mean, I'm not being discriminated because men can use dildos as well if you choose.
Yes.
But I'm not. Most ladies, it's the lady thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not being sexist when I say this. But it stands to reason that it's the ladies leaving them lying around.
Yeah.
In the woods and stuff.
Oh, it just fell out.
Or maybe she took it for a bit of
Going
dogging.
for a walk.
She was going for a bit of dogging.
Yeah, that's it.
And it just got lost in the undergrowth. Who knows?
Well,
who knows?
Well, the dog,
it takes
dog probably knows
different
more than
strokes
anything.
to fucking make
I can
the world
imagine
go
the dog
round.
walking down the road and go, I've smelled that before, hello.
I found your toy, Mum.
yeah, I found the owner.
Yeah, she found it they found it in the woman's drawer, most probably.
Yeah. She was robbing the house at the time.
So, yeah. In fact, talking about more sex toys.
Oh,
yeah,
you were
we've got-
right on for the sex toys tonight.
Sure,
Yeah,
it's just because there's just sex toys in the news
sex
this week.
man.
Sex sells, man.
Yeah, it does,
apparently,
yeah, it
unless
does.
you're just giving away sex.
That's true.
Yeah, not sex literally, but sex shops in America.
Hey?
Yeah, ladies.
Oh, here we go,
Make
ladies.
sure right. Can I just give you a warning firstly before I tell you this story?
Go on.
Right, if you're gonna go for this offer,
Yeah.
right, don't chuck it away in a woods somewhere.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because the plastics.
Yeah. And
They're
like, it's not biodegradable.
You know what I mean?
It take thousands of years to.
And then you're
bury
getting
the
dogs
fucker.
finding them and all the rest of
Yeah.
it. So
And then you get embarrassment and everything.
a sex shop in the US is offering female customers a free red, white, and blue vibrator.
Oh,
If-
go on, ladies! I bet they're rushing out now,
If-
running for it.
They pledge to vote in the upcoming White House election.
There you go.
So,
What, Trump?
the is it Enquirer?
Yeah.
Yeah, adult store in Montana says if you want to get one, Make America Orgasm Again dildo. And give
Come on down now, wank yourself off.
They've got 2,200 vibrators.
Oh, you better be quick then.
In the promotion to make America Orgasm Again. The toys are accompanied with an American flag sticker that states, "I came and I voted."
Oh,
I thought it was quite clever.
Yeah. That for a pun. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't do puns, but I came and I voted.
Yeah. So you bought one then?
Did them both. Now he's going to buy him one. They're giving him away.
Well,
But,
yeah,
like,
that's
I
true.
don't live in Montana.
No, I'll send it through the post.
I love that Montana. It's in the state of Montana as well. Some people might land with some people that might not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Never mind. Hey, we've got some more stories.
Yeah, we have.
What have you got?
Here we have right. You know the good-looking singer Robbie Williams.
I'm loving angels instead.
Yeah,
Robbie
that's the
Williams.
fella. Yeah, well, he bumped into.
National treasure.
Yeah, he is.
Who did he bump into? Gary Barlow in a Tesco's.
Sean Ryder.
It's Sean Ryder.
He
Or
did.
even better. Go on. And
Hey?
what did they do? Sit up talking alien UFOs all night?
You know what? Funny you should say that.
Go on.
Funny you should say
Because
that.
that's the sort of thing I could expect that conversation to go.
Robbie Williams loves Sean Ryder's programs on
I want
UFOs.
Sean Ryder to come on the show and talk UFOs with us. We've asked him so many
Yes,
times.
we have.
If you know Sean Ryder,
I'm going to try and get rid of
convince
Robbie Williams now.
Sean Ryder. Get Robbie Williams
Yeah,
as well if you
seriously, I'm going to try and get Robert because he loves conspiracies.
want. I'd love to do a
ghosts and all
duet
that.
with him.
Well, talking about duets,
Is he doing a duet with Sean Ryder?
they've already done one.
Never.
They've done actually a song which will be coming out next year.
Yes.
And Robbie
What's
Williams.
it called? I'm loving aliens
They
instead.
haven't named it yet. And Robbie Williams is bringing out a
I'm
show
seeing
on
aliens
UFOs and
instead.
aliens
What?
because he loves it so much.
Good man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Subscribe to our podcast if you like that.
Yeah.
You know, we're
Well,
here
that's
for
what I'm
you.
hoping he's going to wear. If anyone can get in contact
Well,
with him,
yeah,
pass it
because
on.
obviously he's going to be doing his research, innit? So
Yeah,
we
man.
potentially could flag
Yeah.
up somewhere.
We love you, Robbie.
Love you, Robert. I've always
We love
loved
you, Sean.
I've won so many.
Yeah, man.
I've done so many karaoke competitions with you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and you lost every time, didn't you?
I won a few.
Have you? Oh, good lad. It's a hard night.
Can't beat a bit of. Oh yeah, the ladies love a bit of Robbie. Anyway, I remember working for Ticketmaster once, and I had to stuff Robbie out tickets in envelopes for fucking hours.
Oh, fuck
I was
him.
like, oh fuck Robbie Williams.
I would have left a little note in just some of them.
What?
I would have left a little note in some of them.
Going, don't
No,
forget
like-
your panties, girls.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, extra pair with you.
did you hear about this? They're always having problems. Subway. Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching a program the other day on.
Remember a couple of years ago they were done for the bread had an ingredient of yoga mattage,
Yeah.
And so a court has ruled that Subway now, bread is not bread, mate. Subway bread isn't bread. They keep changing the recipe, but every time they keep getting it wrong.
They're dickheads.
They keep going, is this bread? And then they go, nah, try again. The recipe's been...
Yeah, there's been there for thousands of years.
I think you should be all right.
Yeah.
Just go on, if you Google it. Yeah,
fucking
Subway.
generations will be turning in the fucking grave.
Yeah,
now.
just Google it. Yeah, just how to make easy bread.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm sure you'll come up with a recipe, but an Irish court has ruled that the bread served in Subway cannot be defined as bread because it's got a too high of a sugar content. So it's like a brioche.
To take the fucking sugar out. Or, even better, contact us and we're coming out for a price.
Well, they basically told all Irish franchises that they've got to sort it out, basically. But it's like they've gone from yoga mat bread to sugary bread. It's like, just get your bread right, man. They're a fucking sandwich shop. Yeah. But this is the thing. They've got to try and make their sandwiches more appealing to the customers.
Oh, yeah.
And, but not lose any of their, long-standing customers because it's changed too much. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but you don't know what you're getting in your sarnies now, to be honest, because I didn't want to. I've got to be honest, I didn't want to, but I did do it for a little bit. I watched that scummy channel, BBC One. And there was a program about sandwiches and actually what you know.
Do you know what? If there's one thing that might have tempted me, and this is the level of entertainment that's on the BBC at the moment, that there's a sandwich program. A program about sandwiches.
About the filling.
Yeah, about fillings in sandwiches. Right.
And now you said the bread.
That's so fucking lo-fi. It's unbelievable.
And you know who was at the top of the list?
Go on.
Bang.
Greg's.
No.
Oh, Subway.
Subway.
Yeah, because it's not real food.
Yeah, it's shit in a shovel. Yeah.
Appearances can be deceiving, and it's like you put... if you put endorsed by the Doctors Association... on your fucking all your literature,
like
people are gonna go the healthy. Yeah, we were sold Subway on the health pretense when it first came out, and it's turned out that it's nothing more than another fast food alternative. Yeah. It's not a healthy option. Oh. Do you know what I mean? And they keep proving
dog
this.
Food would have been better healthy
and the
option.
fact that they keep changing the recipe and getting it wrong is like
stupid.
Well, no, it's. Do you know what it is?
They're trying to get round things. That's what they're trying to do.
It's cost cutting. It's how can we make this quick and easy and make it foolproof for people who work with. Just train your staff better. In fact, don't just
simple recipe.
Well,
simple recipe.
Exactly. Well, simple recipe, but it's all part baked anyway and comes in from the factory.
Oh yeah.
So
I reckon they should employ us. We're fucking sort them out. You call us, give us a ring.
That's it's a job you could have, I suppose.
Yeah,
we'll probably
for a job, man. There, why not?
Yeah, if you're looking for something, you could probably go and ask your services. Yeah. I've got one more story. In the news. Have you got anything else?
I haven't.
You haven't? No. Well, check this out, right? We were talking about scientists last week about in Australia cracking the grandfather paradox.
Yeah.
Well, a new statement from them has come out, and basically, so it's the University of Queensland, and they've said that a time traveller could theoretically go back in time, kill the first infected person infected by coronavirus, and prevent the whole pandemic. And I said to that, well, it's obviously not worked then, has it?
Nope.
Because we're still here.
Yeah, we're still in this sticky situation.
There's a problem with, like, when they say, oh, yeah, we could do theoretically. Well, it's like, theoretically, yeah, but it's that age-old. If I invent time machine, I'm going to turn up right here at this moment and say, just to go, don't worry, guys, it all works out in the end.
He has, but just in a different multiverse.
Yeah, he has, yeah. Well, yeah, exactly.
Exactly, because you're changing the timeline, aren't you?
Exactly.
So that line will
That's
be
how
gone
I believe it.
I
believe it. That's the way I believe it. If you go back and change that past, then a new timeline would have branched off.
Unless, like you were saying,
you might have affected that new timeline.
There might be if there's a way of splitting.
But how would you jump across? Because there'd already be an alternate you there.
Because
what
like
are you going to do? Take your alternate yourself out?
Well, no, but
swap
like a tree,
like
it branches off into different, different.
Yeah, but
ways.
What I'm getting at is
you could theoretically, if you can split your time, you can go back in.
Right.
That time.
Okay. Yeah. But what I'm getting at now is if you've just got in your time machine now, right, and you've gone back in time, will there be? Are you now existing in the same space and time that your original self did on that timeline, or are you there as well as an alternate you, right? Then, then you do what you do and you change the future. You've then got to eliminate the alternate you to take his place, like you say, bump over.
That's all right. If
I know,
I'll kill myself.
So the only time, so
It's
you
not
could
murder,
change, you could do it theoretically, but like you wouldn't be able to reap the benefits of it. Only that alternate timeline.
I don't think any of it realistically is going to be beneficial, because somewhere along the lines we're not going to understand it. Like we don't understand the way we're dealing with the planet.
Well, like I said, it's like if you travel back in time and you were able to affect something like that, then there'd be an alternate me that would be like, maybe never born because you've killed your grandfather, but I could happily go back to my time and live out my life, and my grandfather would have been unaffected. It was the alternate me who'd be bummed, not me.
Well, but like
if you like
you were saying, you couldn't be in the same time.
I don't think it was possible. I think theoretically speaking, you would have done it by now. So get a grip, guys.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Anyway.
And that's, I suppose, why I'm sort of like on the fence of it, because...
No, well, I think they probably wouldn't... Well, obviously it is an important issue, but I think, like, in terms of, like, if they had a time machine, they'd be doing other stuff with it.
Well, like you were saying with John T, you couldn't come back. You'd have to just split up, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
It's
too much degree of difference.
If you listen to last week's episode, we get more into it.
John Teeter and his time travelling adventures. I had quite a few people say they enjoyed that. Glad you did.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. I think that's it for the news this week, unless you've got some NASA.
I've got one story for NASA. And
go on then, quickly.
Mars is going to be early this week. It's going to be the closest in 15 years.
Yay!
Yeah, man. So send the rockets up. Send all the rockets up, so we don't have to fuck off.
Haven't they got a window?
Yeah, there's going to be a certain window. Yeah, but it will all depend on like other planets and gravity and stuff like that as well.
Right, okay.
Yeah, because slingshotting and stuff like that.
Well, the launch of the NASA SpaceX Crew 1 mission has been delayed until November.
Oh.
Yeah, there's been rocket problems, apparently.
Yeah, there has been a few problems lately, but it's good that they're sorting it out before they actually send the fucker up.
Yeah, of course. You don't want to risk anything. No. And I think the whole system's pretty kind of up to date. If you think about how much computing power the last, mission to the moon had compared to what Falcon 9's got, obviously, it's a big difference, isn't it?
Yeah, it seems like if another country's deciding to go up into space, then America decides, right, let's get all the money in and let's get up there let's get there. Let's do it first. Which is, I think, for America is a good prompt, because it actually gets them action, gets them up and going and like, right, we're doing this.
Yeah.
We've got someone to beat here.
Well, I've got another bit about the, I always forget the name of it. Bennu or whatever it's called. No, Barunu or whatever it is. Bennu. Yeah. Is it Bennu? Bennu? The big fucking asteroid that's hurtling towards Earth apparently could hit us.
Oh, another one.
Yeah, well, NASA's released a lot of kind of info about it.
Oh, right, okay, yeah, this is good.
Yeah, so basically, expect that the rock contains the right ingredients for life. They potentially think they're going to probe it.
So they're going to try and probe it and capture it.
They want to see a sample of the, when it arrives to Earth, which should be hitting Earth around 2023.
Yeah. So not hitting Earth, is it, or passing Earth?
Should arrive at Earth. That's all it says. Arrive on Earth.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So it does say it's going to arrive on Earth. So it's basically saying ahead of it. The stamping experts have been... what's this?
Is this the actual satellite, not the actual meteorite? Because they was going for a sample. Yeah, I think it's the actual satellite that's actually collected some sample. And it's on its way
I see. Yeah. So it's the Osiris Rex.
Yes.
Yeah, spacecraft that will be... Yeah. So it's going to be taking a sample, isn't it?
Yeah. And it took off a little while ago. I think about 3 weeks ago, something like that.
Do you know what? Then I was like, but they were saying, but is this only passing then? This?
Yeah, it's just passing. I think it's one that goes around Earth, so it's and we can get there.
Well, no, I think there's people saying that it could hit us.
Well, then it might be on a projection towards us.
Yeah, they're saying it's a doomsday asteroid that could crash into Earth. You know what I mean? But, I don't want to scare people, but it's fucking...
There's loads of them, isn't there?
It's funny, though, because there's been a lot of people spotting mad crazy stuff passing the sun.
Well, it's funny, actually.
Do you know what I mean? And if this is a big bugger...
I've only read a little bit of a report saying that there's a possibility that these things that we keep seeing, around the sun, is a gap for a multiverse. There's like, a little, like a time and space is being broken.
You and your multiverses and your quantum realms.
Hey, this is just what I'm reading. This is what scientists are coming up with.
You're getting into it, are you, a bit?
Yeah,
well,
man.
There you go. I think fucking...
science is good, man.
Science.
It takes us forward.
Yeah.
But also, it's got a lot of bad with it as well, because we're stupid enough to just use it and not be careful.
I totally agree with you. Skynet and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, and other examples. Yeah. List
Shit
is
loads.
long.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
So.
I think it's been an interesting episode. Thanks for popping along today, everybody. We've got some shout outs. I got the riddle, so I think you'll find it's 2-0. 2-0 to me. I will be hitting Taylor up with another riddle next week. Big shout out to our Patreons. Do you want to hit the button for me today, big boy? The yellow one.
That one?
Yeah, that's the one. Oh. He's got no concept of how to operate this machine. No, I mean, I'm going to do the Patreon shout outs.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
So you know what to do.
Yes.
Stop. When I say your name. Right. Not give him a bit of an applause, but do you know what I mean?
Yeah. We'll give him enough.
He's new. He's like me. It's like me intern. Right. Big shout out to Big J.
Yeah.
You can knock it up a little bit. There we go. Big shout out to Dunk Dunk.
Go on, Dunk Dunk.
Continued support.
Yeah.
Woohoo. Big shout out to Swoosh.
Swooshy wooshy.
Woohoo. There you go.
Yeah.
If you want to be a patron and you like what we do, get over to patreon.com, Neverstraightanswer, and you can donate some stuff. You can buy some merch. We've got a T Public site now as well.
Man. Yeah.
Just seen one of the mugs that we've currently got on sale, and one of our listeners has bought. And to tell you what, it's fucking snazzy.
Yeah.
And do you know what the thing is, right? Because we're in the UK, I think T Public's a US company. Postage on a mug's pretty expensive.
Whoa.
It's like a 40 quid mug. You know what I mean? I was like, I might have to get that design done in the UK somewhere down the line.
Yes.
But don't despair, because we've got loads of merch on the website if you want to go over there. But also search us for T Public, because we've got some other exclusive designs over there as well.
Yes.
We've got some honourable mentions this week. Big shout out to Harriet at Christabel Crafts on Facebook. Check her out. She does some cool woolen stuff, just creative stuff. Big shout out to Gareth.
Yes,
Keep
Gareth.
trucking.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, he's been messaging us this week.
Yeah, that's man.
Big shout out to Bob.
Bobby.
Yes. Big shout out to Big Papa, Mr. Crabtree. Badoosh.
Yeah, man.
As well.
Badoosh.
The Duke of Marmalade.
Yeah.
Mr. Brian.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jimmy Evans.
Jimmy.
Big shout out to Shoney. And Chris.
Go on, Chris.
Agent Coulson.
Oh, yeah, can't forget the Coulson.
Where's he been hiding? Big shout out to Groover and all the ladies down at Cosmos. Big shout out there. Big shout out to Louise.
Right, Louise.
Big shout out to Mikey at Mikey Collectibles.
Yeah, man.
Shout out to Liz Reader.
Yes, Liz.
Really need to start a book.
Yeah.
To be honest. And I do apologise, I've not yet. But I've had a lot going on this last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Jake.
Yes, Jake.
I'll be on COD tomorrow.
Yeah.
Have a couple of games.
Yeah.
Get on.
Well, it'd be a bit late for him.
Big shout out to everybody else listening.
Yes.
Yay! We do a lot of podcast shout-outs, but we failed to kind of shout a lot of people out last week. So, like, but I'm not...
It's a long list.
Not done a call this week, so I do apologise. But we knew we had a long show, so we're going to have to cut it down this week.
Yes.
So... well, that's pretty much the end of the show. Yeah. If you want to get in touch, you've got a question for us, a comment, or a suggestion,
yes,
you can email us, call us at neverstraightanswer@gmail.com. We're available.
Boom. We are?
At all hours on NASA_never on Twitter. You can go over to Instagram and check out our post there. We post clues to upcoming episodes.
We do.
Loads of cool images, that go alongside, and other stuff that don't. We also post stats and see how we're doing, because we post stuff like, we were like 42 in the iTunes charts in Taiwan.
Yeah.
Yay. And then we do that, and then, just check it out. You might like it.
Yeah, you might like it, see where we're going.
Also, don't forget Patreon. We're available on all podcast platforms. Subscribe on YouTube, because we nearly hit 100 subscribers on YouTube.
Yes.
And that's about it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Oh God, I'm so tired tonight.
Oh yeah. No.
If you want to get in touch. We always enjoy hearing from you.
Yes, we do.
Also, if you have a story for us for what's fucked up where you're from, or any stories, just send them over.
Yeah.
And that's it. If you've managed to get this far, you're an absolute fucking trooper. And we'll catch you next week.
We will.
I've been Gaz.
I've been Taylor.
And we'll leave you as the Zen gardens wash over you. Relax. Relax.
Yeah. You're going to make me fall asleep.
I've been Gaz.
I've been Taylor.
Peace.